Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/regionsports and at regionsports.com. We come to you tonight from the Brickyard on the campus of Hobart High School as the Region Sports Network presents the RSN number 6 Hobart Brickies taking on the Highland Trojan. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Zimmerman alongside Doug Nelson and Danny Bell. Guys, the Northwest Crossroads Conference season is coming down to the wire, and this Hobart football team, though it's a slight chance, could continue building momentum towards a conference championship tonight.
Well, being that Hobart is 24-0 all-time against Highland, I think Highland's got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder every single season, thinking that, you know, we're going to be that one, we're going to be that one. Hobart, on the other hand, has an emotional night ahead of them, being that they lost one of their players last night, and they're all playing for him right now. Coach Osika has these boys ready to go, and I'm sure that by the end of the night, these boys will have a night to remember.
Doug, as for Highland, not the season they've wanted, a 2-5 record to this point, 1-2 in conference. But, as Danny mentioned, a chance to make history. They're 0-24 all-time against Hobart, but every time they take the field, they always think that this is going to be the year.
Yeah, Coach Koulianos does a good job there at Highland. And, again, you're playing in a game here tonight where you could possibly be a sectional opponent here in a couple weeks. So, you know, Coach Koulianos just wants to try to stay healthy and find something to build off of tonight and stay positive. And, you know, I know they struggle on the offensive side of the ball, but they're getting there. And, again, they want to be healthy and make this a four-quarter ball game.
It's senior night in Hobart. The seniors, both on the football team and the cheerleading squad, were honored pregame. So these fans are out in full throat at the Brickyard, and these Hobart fans, or rather this Hobart team, has quite a bit to play for.
I agree. Right now, being that they're down in the conference, you know, to Andrean, there's an opportunity for them to keep making headway and maybe steal at least a share, or hope that Andrean could possibly slip up and give them an opportunity to make this a different outcome in the end than what they thought it would be in the beginning.
Andrean does hold the head-to-head tiebreaker, having taken down the Brickies 24-17 a couple of weeks ago. But in conference, they're 3-0. Hobart is 2-1. So this Hobart team definitely still has a shot, and I guarantee you Coach Craig Osika will remind them of that plenty of times tonight.
Yeah, again, being a coach, you know, this is one of the nights as a coach you just don't really look forward to, senior night. You know, I know there's so many distractions. You know, this is kind of a trap game for Hobart, and they have to stay focused, and they have bigger things in mind. So they got to stay sharp, and let's see if Coach Koulianos and his boys can be kind of the ruiners tonight, or, you know, whatever the word is. But, you know, it's going to be a ball game, and again, Hobart's got aspirations of making a run toward Indianapolis about that Thanksgiving weekend, so we'll see if they can keep things going the right way. Still
plenty to come on the pregame show. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. We'll give you the Economy Electric Heating and Cooling Friday night forecast, as well as presenting the Castle Subaru keys to the game. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strack and Van Til, now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright. Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
We're just about 10 minutes away from the start of senior night at the Brickyard as the Hobart Brickies continue their march towards a Northwest Crossroads Conference Championship against the Highland Trojans. Ryan Zimmerman here with you on the Region Sports Network alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson. Before we get any further, let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight, starting with the Hobart Brickies. We'll begin offensively. This is how Coach Craig Osika has his roster set. Along the offensive line tonight, the likely starters are Patrick O'Connor, Luke Juris, Jake Sparks, Andres Castillo, and Andrew Martinez from left to right on the line. Diego Verduzco, Luke Juris, Aiden Oleg, Matthew Popenhagen, and Jackson Ray on the offensive line from left to right. Noah Ehrlich is under center. Trey Gibson, the running back. Cody Johnston, Isaac Gordon, and Connor Stafford, the likely top three receivers. For this Hobart offense, Trey Gibson has to be the guy to watch.
Definitely. He's got over 1,000 yards already this year, total or all-purpose yards. I think it's 1030. He's really pushing forward. And then you have to also watch out for Ehrlich. He can put the moves on as well. He's not just a passing quarterback. And then with the wheels like Cody Johnston, wow, watch out. That's a trio.
It really is an electric offense, and Hobart is going to have a really stout Highland defense to contend with, and they'll obviously try to keep them from putting all those points up on the board. They look like this, a 3-3 stack set. I'm looking at the Hobart defense, I apologize. The Highland defense looks like this. It's Jesus Alanis, Cameron Bixenman, and Aramis McNutt on the defensive line. Javi Castillo, Leo Luviano, Josh Hubbard, and Nick Johnson, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Jason Lawrence, Stevie Salmon, Austin Gambino, and Avian Wilson. So these guys have their hands full as Hobart can really bring the thunder offensively.
Yeah, the Highland defense is led by Nick Johnson. He's leads the way with 93 total tackles. And then you have Cameron Bixman, a 6'4" senior. He's got 57 total tackles. So these guys are going to have their hands full tonight trying to contain the Hobart offense. But those guys have done a pretty good job here so far.
Taking a look at the Highland offense, the offensive line from left to right. We'll have to wait. We'll bring that to you when we come back. The national anthem here on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
General Insurance Services in Hobart is an independent insurance agency serving Northwest Indiana. Understanding the client's needs combined with the knowledge and expertise is what has allowed them to deliver sound advice for over 80 years. General Insurance Services is open 5 days a week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 219-850-1001 or stop in at 405 Main Street in Hobart, and you can always check them out on the web at genins.com. General Insurance Services, serving the future of the communities they serve.
I'm Tim O'Brien, former Hobart Brickie and Northwestern Wildcat quarterback. When I was playing, I always wanted to be prepared for the unexpected, planning for what might come next. As a certified financial planner with Edward Jones Investments here in Hobart, I pass on that same philosophy to my clients. Planning for the future is important. The same goes for advertising. I plan ahead and turn to the Region Sports Network because they get the job done for me. And I therefore put my trust in them, knowing they are the only game in town. And go Brickies!
Kickoff is soon approaching between the Hobart Brickies and the Highland Trojans as the Northwest Crossroads Conference season is quickly coming to a close. Ryan Zimmerman here alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson here on the Region Sports Network. Before we get started, let's take a look at the Highland offensive starters. We went through the Hobart offense and the Highland defense on the other side of the break, and this is how head coach Peter Koulianos has his offense looking tonight. Blake Vanek gets the start at quarterback. Leo Luviano will be the man at running back. Josh Hubbard, the fullback. 3 receivers set. Javi Castillo, Hunter Sopkowski, and Nick Johnson will be the pass catchers. Castillo and Sopkowski as wide receivers, and Johnson as a tight end. The offensive line from left to right is Adam Efe, Luke Abel, Ian Celestine, Wilfred Akanbi, and Aramis McNutt. This is an offense that's had their fair share of struggles this season, but they have a chance to make a real statement against a stout Hobart defense tonight.
Yeah, again, you talk about the Highland, they've struggled all year. They've gone through a couple quarterbacks, and they play a pretty solid, the Northwest Crossroads, very good defensive league. So, they're still trying to figure out the offensive side of the ball. But you talk about senior Stevie Solomon, receiving yards, 261 so far this year. So he's a guy that they'll look for down the field, but they just want to take care of the football, maintain the football, and not turn it over and give Hobart too many opportunities to score.
As for the Hobart defense, a unit that has allowed just 16 points per game this year, they run a 3-3 stack. It's Aiden Alog, Maurice MacArthur Jr., and Noah Miller across the defensive line. Bradley Gibson, Hunter Juris, and Gavin Miller, the linebackers. And in the defensive backfield, Nathan Queer, Anthony Rumble, Cale Schlosser, Willie Shearer, and Colton Charo. This is a defense that can cause havoc and create turnovers, and they'll be looking to force quite a few against an offense, Doug, like you mentioned, that is scuffling a bit.
Definitely with this defense, we're picking up from last year. We had a lot of people leaving that were seniors. Noah Miller being the only returning defensive lineman we have. But Bradley Gibson this year, he's been playing cleanup on every single aisle. and Gavin Miller as well. Both of them are around 50 solo tackles. And Noah Miller, he's getting double teamed and double teamed and double teamed. I think with him and the addition of Hunter Juris at middle linebacker, those boys are looking to hit.
Yeah, Hobart here, we talked about it just real quick. Well, Hobart's got one of the cooler entrances onto their field, I think, coming over that hill.
I agree.
I know you can never duplicate the old Bricky Bowl or the, that downtown setting of you had to be there at 5 o'clock or you didn't get a seat kind of thing.
Right.
But it's a pretty neat environment here at Don Howell Field.
We'll take a short break as we honor.
We're going to have a moment of silence here for Elijah Wilson.
But more importantly, he was an anchor for friendship, for encouragement, and will leave a legacy that will live on because of the kind person that he was. A great brother, teammate, and friend. Elijah was taken too soon. There aren't words that fully express the devastation and heartbreak the entire Hobart Brickies family feels. Our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to Elijah's family for comfort. In the midst of sadness, we are also eternally grateful and honored for the time we shared with Eli and the impact his life made on so many others. At this time, we ask that you please join us in recognizing the moment of silence in honor of Elijah's memory. Thank you.
This Hobart team really is going to be playing with heavy hearts tonight following the passing of Elijah Wilson. And boy, you talk about a larger-than-life figure, that was him.
There's no words. I mean, to express how a team or a family can feel or affect the entire city. For the young man, and we are their families in our thoughts and prayers. But it's going to be tough for the Brickies to get out there tonight and compete, and hopefully once they get going and playing, they can get things going in the right direction.
And a real powerful moment there. The team entered the stadium holding his jerseys, converged around the 50-yard line for prayer, and boy, that's definitely something that makes you realize that football really isn't everything. There's so much more to life than it.
There aren't very many dry eyes in this crowd right now.
Before we head to the coin toss, let's take a look at the Economy Electric Heating and Cooling Friday night forecast. throughout the night in Hobart. We're in for a chilling one. Under 50 degrees right now. It's 48 as we approach kickoff. The temperature is expected to drop a couple degrees to about 45 by the time it's all said and done. It's starting to get to football weather right now, and I don't know about you guys, but this is how I like to watch my football.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky this year. Usually have a lightning delay night and that kind of thing, and I know there's still time left on the season, but we've been pretty fortunate this season. And the football's a game of variables. We used to remember back in the day, the Hobart game was a lot of times a mud bowl.
A mud bowl, that's correct.
You think of the Griffiths and the Hobarts, and some of those games were just a muddy mess. But we've been the evolution of the turf has really evened things out a little bit. But those variables with the wind coming out of the north, that could affect field position, that kind of thing. Could be a field position game. So.
The wind is coming out of the north. I'm sure that's going to take effect with both of these teams having pretty good extra point and field goal kickers. Yeah. So I'm going to see there's going to be a lot of punting in this game. And we're going to see which team's going to end up doing it.
Highland won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so Hobart will begin with the football. They'll go from right to left. Highland from left to right. Highland in their white jerseys, blue pants, and yellow helmets, while the Brickies are in their all-purple with gold helmets. Before we get started, the Castle Subaru keys to the game. What are we looking out for tonight?
Well, on offense with the Hobart Brickies, I'm assuming that Noah Ehrlich is looking to get at least 250 in the air. He's going to start picking them apart, and if you're looking at his averages, most of his passes completed are above 10 yards. So he's not looking to dink and dump. He's looking to make an impression. And with the addition of Trey Gibson into the passing routes now, Hobart just opened up the entire field on offense.
On the defensive side of the ball, you talk about trying to keep the ball in front of you. Don't give up the big play. Again, when you're looking at a Hobart team that's pretty powerful offensively, a lot of games are not necessarily won, but they're lost, in high school sports. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Play the game, keep the ball in front of you, and try to keep the officials out of the game with their flags in their pockets.
Daniel Leffel on to kick it away for Highland. Trey Gibson and Willie Shearer back deep for the Brickies, and here we go. It's a short kick. Shearer muffs it at the 10, but picks it up. Got a little room to run across the 20, past the 25, and he takes a couple of Trojans with him up to the 30-yard line, and that is where the Hobart offense sets up shop.
Shearer with a nice return. He got himself 20 yards out of it. He's going to end up starting off here looking to share time with Gibson, but I'm assuming that Hobart's looking to put the ground game to work right off the bat.
Yeah, especially going into the wind here. We talked about it. It's coming out of the north. You want to, like you said, you want to start that ground game, instill your dominance there in the trenches and try to get the ball down the field.
The Hobart offense starts out in the pistol, 3 receivers, and Gibson the running back. Ehrlich claps his hands. He hands off Gibson, runs left side. He's got a little bit of room to run, but Jason Lawrence comes up to make the stop after a gain of about 2.
Lawrence is downhill. If you watch him at all this year, he is a downhill player. This kid comes down like a linebacker, and he's a strong safety.
So a minimal gain on first down for Hobart, but that's a big key. We'll see how many touches Gibson gets tonight as he tries to pick apart this Highland defense. Ehrlich, a quick screen out to the left side for Connor Stafford across the 35, and a trio of Trojans push him out of bounds at around the 36. So Ehrlich on the board with his first pass of the night, and Hobart has a third and manageable.
Yeah, the Highland corner there, number 5, Austin Gambino, senior, 5'7", he was given a lot of soft room there. He was giving the receiver a lot of room, and he just dropped back and took what they gave him.
There's easy pickings right there. We've got 3 on the right side now with Hobart.
Ehrlich alone in shotgun. They want the screen. It's not there. They find it late.
Great tackle.
and Hobart has nowhere to go. Jalen Williams on the middle screen, but the Highland defense was ready, and Hobart has to punt it away.
Yeah, Highland number 10, Leo Luviano, senior, 5'7" again. He stayed home, right? That's good disciplined football right there by the Highland defense, and that's good. That's got to be a little win for them to get off the field here in 3 plays. They'll 3 and out.
Great discipline.
So Xander Lankford will punt it away. Jason Lawrence and Javi Castillo back deep to return. Nearly blocked. An end-over-end kick. It bounces at around the Highland 45. Takes a Hobart bounce. And the special teams unit will down this kick at the Highland 24. So Lankford flips the field. And Highland's offense gets to work for the first time tonight. 9:51 left in the first quarter.
I was going to say, Luviano had good timing on that snap. He almost got a block.
He sure did.
He was darn near offsides, but that was a great effort there, and he was put himself in position for that block.
Now that Highland has right off the bat, we're going to see whether or not they're going to give it to Hubbard. Hubbard is a semi-state qualifier for wrestling as well. He's a multi-sport athlete. Him and Luviano are going to be carrying the load here, and we're going to see the switch off of quarterbacks between Max Smith and Blake.
Vanek fumbles the snap, couldn't get the handoff away. He has to take off himself, and Hobart swallows him up in the backfield. Could have been a bigger disaster for Highland, but Vanek able to scoop up the football, and Highland keeps possession.
Yeah, if you're Highland here, you don't want to give the ball back quickly. You know, if nothing else, Coach Koulianos wants to take the time off clock, right? I mean, you're the underdog tonight. You know that coming in. Try to shorten the game a little bit, run the football, move the chains.
Right.
But you can't. That's kind of a sloppy start there for Highland.
The Trojans are behind the chains in 2nd and 12. Vanek hands off outside Lawrence. He cuts it back, but he runs into a sea of Brickies around the 24-yard line. So Highland back to the original line of scrimmage, but they're still up against it, facing a 3rd and long.
Going back to what I said, Gibson, he's one of the cleanup artists. And that moment right there, he blew through everyone and cleaned that one up as well.
He's a nice player on both sides of the ball. Right?
Yeah, he's fun. Brad, the little brother of Trey, and there, you can't tell he's littler.
Certainly an athletic family at that. They've found their home here on this football field. Vanek in shotgun, drops back to pass. Pressure coming, rolls to his left, decides to go deep down the middle of the field, and it's picked off. Colton Charo, and he immediately loses the football. He's quick to fall on it at his own 35, but the Hobart defense comes up big and forces the game's first turnover.
Charo was getting a lot of good playing time in last year. That had to come into play with this. Now that he's starting out here, he's really showing how comfortable he is.
It's almost like a...
There's a late flag on the field. I believe it was after the interception. We'll head down to the field for the call.
The coach did a high, he bumped with his player on the field, and they threw a flag for it. For excessive celebration on the coach?
I don't think I've ever seen that penalty before.
And the ref is letting him know about it right now.
So Hobart will take over with the ball on their own 36-yard line following the turnover.
It kind of just acts as a glorified punt, right? I mean, I know they would have loved to get the play. He was open too.
He was
cutting across the middle.
He was behind him.
Vanek just underthrew it.
Yeah, the receiver was, the quarterback was trying to square his shoulders and set his feet rolling to the left like that.
A high snap, Ehrlich handles and hands off to Gibson up the middle, but the Highland front three takes care of him behind the line of scrimmage.
The backers from Highland are really committing to the run. They're going to say, Ehrlich, you're going to have to beat us in the air tonight, and you got to pick your poison. You got to choose something to stop.
Force them to do it.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 at the Hobart 35. Ehrlich back to pass, quick screen out wide to Aiden Leonard, and he powers ahead to around the 40-yard line.
That could get them away from the 7 in the box right now, trying to put those dink and dumps outside, because Highland, they're stocking and loading up that box. They know.
Yeah, number 40, Nick Johnson, was in on that tackle, junior, 6'4". I like that kid. He's got another year coming up. he's going to be all over the field again on both sides of the ball.
So it is about a 3rd and 6 play action. They look to the outside, and they have Cody Fisk around the marker, and I think the referees are going to move the chains.
They sold that play fake on that one. I was faked up here. I thought Trey had it for sure.
That was number 51, Cameron Bixenman, a 6'4" senior on in that tackle with some other teammates. But, like you said, you don't really want to challenge Ehrlich.
No,
he's pretty good,
he's
right?
slick.
I mean, he's one of the more natural quarterbacks we have up here in the region.
He is.
And in motion, and it's a handoff on the jet sweep, but Highland takes care of it before it can turn into a big gainer. That's the first touch of the game for Anthony Rumble, normally a defensive back, but he's seeing time at wide receiver tonight.
It counts as a reception, right, Danny? I mean, for your fantasy football guys.
I would definitely count it on mine.
Yeah.
Hobart runs tempo. It's a pitch to Gibson up across midfield, and he powers ahead towards the 45, and the referees will mark him just a yard short of the first.
Number 57, Aramis McNutt, 5'10" junior. He's in on the bottom of the pile. He's been pretty active here early so far.
Hobart's starting to get a feel for their offense around the halfway point of the first quarter. Ehrlich and the running game are putting together quite a drive. High snap, Ehrlich handles it. It's a handoff to Gibson, and he stumbles across the first down marker.
His footwork right there. He fell 3 or 4 times after he got the ball, but his hands on the ground kept him up enough to get at least a little bit closer to the first down.
Yeah, number 2, Jason Lawrence, and he shot in the backfield. He was all or nothing there. 5'9" junior. He shot in the backfield and made Lawrence have to adjust a little bit.
So the referees did not give Hobart the spot. It's a 4th and short.
Uh-oh.
Ehrlich goes the wrong way with the handoff. He has to run it himself, and Highland shuts him down.
Wow.
A broken play.
Yes, it was.
Just a miscommunication on the handoff. Gibson wanted it to the right. Ehrlich went left, and the Brickies turn it over on downs.
It's one of those plays. You could circle that one here if Highland can hang around. Again, keep that clock rolling, make it a four-quarter game, and stay in it.
Well, they've got good starting position right now, and they need 3 first downs. They got themselves almost in field goal position. So
Sure, especially with the wind behind you.
I agree.
So the Trojans take over at their own 46 after the turnover on downs. Fanek with 2 running backs next to him in shotgun, 2 receivers out to the left.
Oh, false start.
Movement from one of the running backs. They don't call it. It's a handoff to Lawrence, and now the flags fly. Lawrence has some room to run across the 40, cuts it back, and he rumbles toward the Hobart 27. However, this one could be coming back.
I hope it does, just for the sake of how obvious that call was. I don't know if they all thought everybody else would assume that somebody else would call it, but that was a false start on the running back.
Exactly.
Josh Hubbard moved early, and I don't think I've ever seen a false start called after the play.
He tried to kill it too. That should be a dead ball.
There's conversation out there between the referees.
No flag.
They're pulling the flag
they're
up?
not going to call it.
Yeah, yeah. That's a little confusing call there.
It looked like an obvious false start, but Highland catches a major break, and on the first play of their drive, they're in Hobart territory for the first time tonight.
Well, if you're Highland, you got to take advantage of those breaks. It's going to go both ways. But from up here, it looks like somebody missed that one.
A bunch of referees in the stands are showing what they feel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Highland back in shotgun. This time it's a handoff to Hubbard, and Hobart shuts him down.
There's going to be a different change on that sideline, I think, because if you look at the posture of Osika, he isn't very happy right now. So I'm assuming that these boys are going to start playing gap defense and getting in them holes real fast.
Yeah. Plus the official on the Hobart sideline would rather be any place on the planet than where he's at right now.
He is in the lion's den, especially after that sideline warning that he gave.
It's a 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Ball on the Hobart 29. Lawrence, the lone setback. Vanek takes the snap and rolls right. Pressure coming. He fires it. He gets hit, and he's got a man. Jason Lawrence at the Hobart 17, and Highland has themselves another first down. They're in the red zone for the first time.
Number 2, Stevie Solomon. Great footwork on the sideline there. Make sure he got his foot down. Good hands, and keep moving those chains. If you're Highland, run that clock. Use that play clock, right?
Yeah, that's right. He was toe tapping and looking right there.
So after Hobart turned it over on downs and Highland took advantage of the phantom false start, they might just be in position to take the game's first lead.
They're definitely looking to punch it in right here.
Vanek rolls to his left. It's a design QB run. Flags fly as Vanek gets taken down at the Hobart 11, but I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, that was a hold.
A little bit of the jersey tug there.
Yeah, the official had a good look, and you want to keep your hands inside the defender, not on the outside of his shoulder pad. So that was probably the second easiest call of the night. We'll see. So
looks like they're going to catch Leo Luviano for the hold. So a 1st and 10 turns into a 1st and 20, and the Trojans are knocked out of the red zone for the moment.
This definitely puts them a little bit deeper. You don't want to work from behind the sticks. This right here.
Especially when you get in the red zone.
Exactly. You know? You only get one more shot at a first down from where you're at. Don't move yourself behind the sticks far.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody's got to start that clock, right?
Well, the clock is stuck at 4:05. Now it's
started.
Back and operational. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The whistles go, and Highland wants a timeout.
It's important possession here for Highland. I know we're going into a break probably, but yeah, they want to make sure they at least get 3 points here.
Highland's knocking on the door, but can the Hobart defense stand tall? 3:58 left in the first quarter. It's 0-0. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117. Pre-plan for your family's sake.
I'm a ref myself, so I get caught.
Highland's moving the ball effectively, but a penalty might set them back behind schedule. It's 1st and 20 on the Hobart 28 as they look to open up the scoring today. Welcome back to Game Night in the Region. Ryan Zimmerman here with you alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson. Highland might be out to a surprise lead if they can come up with something here offensively. Vanek, a quick pitch to Lawrence on the right side, and he gets a couple before a pair of Hobart defenders take him down. Bradley Gibson and Willie Shearer in on the combined tackle. It's a minimal gain on first down. They only give Lawrence a yard.
Yeah, Shearer did a good job of turning that back inside and then getting a piece of that tackle. That was a nice job by the young man.
I got a feeling you're going to hear Bradley Gibson's name a lot tonight.
He is the leading tackler on this Hobart team. 54 coming into tonight's game. He's up to 55 now after that one. And Hobart might just have Highland's offense right where they want them. Bunch formation to the left side as Luviano checks in at running back. Vanek to throw, pressure coming. He steps up to avoid the rush, gets rid of it on the right side, and he's got a man. Stevie Solomon makes the catch and heads out of bounds at the Hobart 13. And just like that, an 8-yard gain sets Highland up with a 3rd and manageable.
He was pretty close to the line of scrimmage there when he made that throw, didn't he? He was really close to. I saw the official eyeballing a little bit, but that was a good job by him of stepping up and scrambling and keeping the play alive.
Hobart got lucky on that one. The pressure on the left side forced the quarterback to the right, and there was a man wide open in the end zone. He just couldn't get a chance to see him.
So 3rd and 6, Hobart stacks the box as Highland remains in shotgun. Vanek to pass, pressure coming, rolls right, and he gets rid of it at the last second. This could be intentional grounding. That ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage, but for the moment, the referees keep their flags in their pockets, and Hobart.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Gavin Miller with the hit. He got in there quick. He made up ground fast. Another one of the wrestlers that Hobart has on this squad.
I do like the correlation between a quality football team and a quality wrestling team with the footwork.
It is amazing.
Angles and leverage.
That's
and
right.
all
and
of that good stuff.
Fighting on the line and the
balance.
trenches. Oh,
man, that's everything.
It really is.
Plus, it just gives you that mental edge to wrestling and football, both so physical, and perhaps the biggest advantage you can have over your opponents is the mental advantage, and wrestling certainly teaches that.
With no one else out there to help you, it's definitely a sport that's going to teach you to either humble or be humbled.
That's why I like it. There's nowhere to hide.
That's right.
No finger pointing.
So after the penalty, it's 4th down and long. Highland has no choice but to go for it. Their field goal kicker, Daniel Leffel, has not made a single field goal this year. And if they're going to try and get something going offensively, they're going to do it with their offense. But before 4th down, Highland uses their second timeout. While we have a break in the action, let's give you an update around some of the scores throughout Northwest Indiana. Taking a look inside the matchup between Hammond Central and Gary Westside. Gary Westside is up 6-3 early. Meanwhile, LaPorte is ahead 6-0 over Michigan City. And meanwhile, New Prairie is trailing Penn. 14-0.
Sorry on my bad handwriting, but New Prairie, I made a
I couldn't tell, was that a C? Was that a B?
Don't worry about it.
I had to double
Don't worry
take
about it. But New Prairie is probably the favorite in the sectional 17, and these both of these teams here tonight will have to go through New Prairie to win that sectional 17 title.
New Prairie, I wish they would have been able to talk one of their wrestlers, Christian Carroll, into playing some football. He's ranked #1 in the nation right now in wrestling, and he's a 220-pound monster.
Yeah, they got some dudes on the line over there.
After the timeout, Highland will stick with their offense. The line to gain is the Hobart 8. 4th and 24, ball on the Hobart 22. Not many plays in your playbook for this situation.
I think it'd be cool to see him drop back a little bit and do a little quick punt.
A little flea flicker.
A little coffin corner.
That would be nice.
Ehrlich hands off. It's a double reverse for Stevie Sullivan. He's going to throw
wide.
deep down the left side. He underthrew it.
Good idea. You got to open up the playbook here when you're going for a win on the road against a team you might not supposed to be competing with. Good job by Hobart, though. Stay home and stay in their assignments.
Highland had Nick Johnson towards the near pylon. Salmon just didn't get enough on the throw. The play was there.
Salmon has 3 other passes earlier in the year as well, and it's the exact same play. The unfortunate thing is he's 0-4 for it now. He had a guy wide open at the end, about 10 yards behind the defender.
So you're saying he's due. The play is due to work,
Definitely.
is what you're saying.
He's saving it for sectionals.
There you go.
Hobart's offense back to it, and Ehrlich skips his first down pass towards Cody Fisk. 2:45 left to go in the opening quarter. Still no score between the Hobart Brickies and the Highland Trojans. Perhaps a bit of a shock that Highland's defense has played so well in the early stages, considering how Hobart has owned them in the past. Hobart remains in the pistol. Ehrlich fakes the handoff to Gibson, rolls to his right, fires deep down the far sideline, and Cody Fisk couldn't haul it in. Ehrlich had his man in stride, but Fisk couldn't make the back shoulder catch.
Hit him in the worst spot, right in the hands and the shoulder pad there, right? I mean, he just a great throw by Ehrlich and threw on the run and he put the ball where only his guy could get it, and you got to come up with that play to advance in these games.
It's 3rd down and 10. Ball on the Hobart 33-yard line. Ehrlich, the only man in the Hobart backfield, 4 receivers set, movement on the line. They're going to get Luke Juris for a false start here.
I don't know. Is that one of those where the defender draws him off sides? Nope.
But Luke on there, he's filling in for Isaiah Wilson right now, so he's definitely got a little bit of nerves being this is his first varsity start there. So hopefully he can get the butterflies out and tighten the bolts.
So Hobart now even further behind schedule, a 3rd and 15 from their own 33. Ehrlich deep to throw. Scans the field, rolls left, shakes a sack, throws deep down the field, and he's got his man, Connor Stafford, at the Highland 38. How about that for converting 3rd and long?
Well, again, Ehrlich's probably the best drop-back quarterback we have up here, right? I mean, can we agree on that? He kept the play alive. He's got a great arm.
Mechanic-wise, footwork-wise, this kid he's making leaps and bounds every day, and the good thing is we have him for 2 more years.
Hobart hustles right back to the line of scrimmage, movement up front, and Hobart will get tagged with their 2nd false start of the drive.
You can't do that. You know, at this point in the season, coaches got to be a little bothered by that. That's sloppy. You've got to clean this stuff up as we get here toward the conclusion of the regular season.
Definitely want to get it out of the way now before you get towards the end.
So once again, Hobart deals with 15 yards to gain, 1st and 15. It's a quick screen outside for Cody Johnston. Had a little bit of room. He shakes a tackle, and he's up to around the 37-yard line. And Johnston really made something out of nothing there.
He's so hard to tackle. Just when you think you got him, he just squirts out.
So what could have been a loss turns into a 7-yard gain, and Hobart has themselves a 2nd and 8.
They look to be pushing the pace a little bit here.
Ehrlich hands off to Gibson up the middle, and Highland stuffs him at the line of scrimmage. That might even be a loss.
Hands off today, Highland defense. They've held Trey Gibson to limited numbers right now in the 1st quarter.
Looks like number 22, Jason Bogner Jr. from Highland.
Yes, I love him.
Bogner, baseball coach's son.
Yes, his dad's a wrestler too.
Yeah.
That whole family is amazing.
Great guy. Great family.
They are.
No gain on the play. Hobart in a 3rd and 8. Ehrlich to throw down the far sideline. He's got Fisk, and he twists and turns up the field out of bounds for a 1st down.
You can see the corners. Just again, I mentioned earlier that was number 25, Ryan Gordon, but they're playing soft.
A lot of cushion.
They're giving about 8 to 10 yards. I mean, all he's got to do is just drop back and stop. Play a little pitch catch over there.
He's sitting at 12 right now.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Just do it all the way down the field.
It's a play action once again out wide for Fisk. Tries to juke his way around the corner, but Gordon wraps him up.
Yeah, somebody saw it.
If you're going to give that much, you're right. He's going to keep taking it. If it happens again, I wouldn't be surprised if Ehrlich checks down.
Why not?
What's that old saying? You'll never go broke taking a profit.
That's right.
That's exactly what Ehrlich's doing right now.
Cushion drop now.
Less than a minute to go in the 1st. Handoff Gibson towards the left side. He's got a little bit of room to work, and he rumbles ahead for a 1st down. Hobart is in the red zone for the 1st time.
Well, they have a good mix right now, right? They're not relying on just the run or just the pass. Ehrlich's proven, of course, that he can move the ball in the air, and that kind of makes the defense guess a little bit. What's he going to do next?
He's opening up the field a little bit with his feet, and now he's given an opportunity to get those guys out of the box and let Trey use his athletic ability.
Yeah, the guy in the far slot, look at him, there's no one covering him.
Never at all.
Play action, throw out wide. He's got Leonard across the 10, bowls over a defender, and he's down around the 7. A positive gain for this Hobart offense, and it looks like that'll be the final play of the 1st quarter. Perhaps a bit of a surprise. We are yet to see the first points of tonight's contest. It's 0-0 as we head to the 2nd quarter. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Hobart is driving, but we are yet to see the first points tonight. It's Brickies 0, Highland Trojans 0 in the final home game of Hobart's 2022 season. Welcome back to game night in the region on the Region Sports Network. Ryan Zimmerman here alongside Danny Gray and Doug Nelson. Fellas, Highland's defense has come to play today, but it looks like Hobart might have just cracked the code.
Yeah, they're not shooting themselves in the foot, and their offensive coordinators found something. They're working their way down the field right now with a good mix of, and they've got the weapons to do it. So
I'm looking at definitely an opportunity for Hobart here to start pushing down on that gas pedal. But being that it's 0-0 into the first, a lot of people were expecting this to be a high-scoring game and that Hobart would just be able to walk through and score a lot. And as of right now, Highland isn't letting that happen.
That's the recipe for an upset, right? I mean, you make it a game for as long as you can.
Like you were saying earlier, this is technically type of trap game that could get people caught, and Highland is definitely one of those type of teams that would love to do it.
Their defense has really showed up here in the early stages. They forced that turnover on downs earlier, got Hobart to punt on their first drive. The Hobart offense is driving, sure, but credit to Highland's defense for at least keeping them in the game to this point.
Yeah, so far. You know, they're again, you gave yourself a chance. Right now here at the 50, it looks like Cody Johnson picked up his state championship ring.
Yes, his indoor state championship for pole vaulting. That family has been pole vaulting in Hobart, I think, since the first brick was laid.
You have got to have some loose screws to pole vault. I mean, he just gained
the ultimate
more
adrenaline
respect.
sport.
Confidence level of that family is definitely on high.
That pole vaulting is one of those things like, okay, who's a little crazy? Okay, go pole vault.
Hobart's offense back on the field. The first play of the quarter, a read option. Ehrlich has a bit of room to run, and he's able to make it up to around the 5, but a flag flies in around the line of scrimmage.
That's in the area of holding.
Yes, sir. It looked like it in the back.
And it will be holding.
68 it looked like.
So Matthew Popenhagen, one of the seniors being honored here on Senior Day, the guilty party, and Highland has a little bit of room to work with defensively.
So many of these Hobart boys that are seniors this year were on my Pop Warner teams when
Wow.
they were little.
This must be a full circle moment for you there, Danny.
It
Showing your
is.
age, Danny. You're showing your age.
So 2nd and 13 for the Hobart offense as they look to crack the scoreboard. Ehrlich takes the snap and rolls left, looks for a place to throw, and he has nowhere to go. He'll just throw it away.
It's a good decision.
That's a great decision. You know, that's the kind of stuff you see on Saturdays.
That's right.
And then in the league, but that's a great decision. Just get rid of it and live to see another day.
That's right. Don't take a loss. Take another down.
So we'll see how Coach Osika wants to handle the situation here. A 3rd and 13 on the Highland 17. Your offense is really starting to get something going on this drive. Do you dare turn this into 4-down territory?
Well, if you get it, this is one of those we don't need all 12 right now, right? Just cut it in half, get like 6 or 7, give yourselves a chance.
That's right.
I'm gonna call timeout. Play clock's down.
Play clock was down to 1. Coach Osika saves the 5-yard penalty, and Hobart uses their first timeout of the half.
Perfect time for a bubble screen.
While we have a break in the action, let's take a look at the Strack and Van Til out-of-town scoreboard. We have an update in the New Prairie Penn game. That has gone to halftime. Penn leads it 14-0. Meanwhile, in Northwest Crossroads Conference play, Andrean has themselves a 13-0 lead on Kankakee Valley, while Calumet is up 6-0 on River Forest.
It's that time of the year, right? I mean, it's getting a little tighter, right? Again, you just want to do what you could do well. I mean, the tape's out on you. You know, there's no secrets at this point.
Everyone's got your film. Now it's a matter of getting backups ready to go just in case something crazy happens, and then tighten down all of your trick plays and all the plays you saved. Make sure you've got them all in your back pocket.
Yeah, you want to clean up and make sure you got everything sharp and ready to go here for a couple of weeks. It's coming. It's the one of the funnest times of the year is football postseason.
And the colder it gets, the harder it is to stay healthy.
Yeah, and the draw is this Sunday, right?
That's right.
Hobart back onto the field after the timeout. Ehrlich will throw. Pressure's good. He looks wide. He has Stafford, but an excellent tackle prevents him from getting any yards after the catch. Austin Gambino in on the tackle. Excuse me, that was Jalen Williams on the catch. And Hobart will take the 3. Excuse me, yeah, they will take the 3.
Yeah, that's Gambino's 5'7", 1. He plays much bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he? He's a tough kid out there. That's a great fundamental tackle.
So out comes senior Ryan Pimentel to kick the field goal. Luke Granzo, the snapper, and the quarterback Ehrlich, the holder. This will be about a 27-yarder. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is true. So Hobart takes the first lead of the ball game at 10:36 to play in the second quarter. They lead it 3-0 over Highland.
I know I emphasize it every time I'm on the air, but it's the special teams. It's the third phase of the game. Those 3 points, those add up, and it's those little things just to get this on the scoreboard. Maybe that kind of breaks the ice a little bit and kind of takes some pressure off of Hobart here.
Perhaps there's just the psychological element. You see the ball go through the uprights, you take it into the end zone. That lets you know, hey, we can do this. And perhaps that opens the floodgates, like Doug, you said.
Yep.
Takes a little bit of the air out of the sail as well on the other side of the ball, because it's either going to motivate you or else it's going to tear you down. And 3 points, that's a motivating victory for a defense when you're playing against a high-powered offense like Hobart.
Sure, I mean it's some people might say it's a win for Highland.
That's right.
You held them to 3, and that was a good sustained long drive there by Hobart. But it still comes down to Hobart. In order to win, you got to score. So Highland's got to get on the scoreboard here at some point.
So after kicking the field goal, Pimentel is back on the field for the kickoff. Stevie Salmon and Leo Luviano back to return for Highland. 10:36 left to play in the second quarter. It's Hobart 3, Highland nothing. Ryan Zimmerman, Danny Bell, and Doug Nelson with you on the Region Sports Network for the penultimate week of the NCC season. Pimentel boots it away. Luviano lets it go over his head and into the end zone for a touchback.
Those are the safe ones.
Again, special teams make them start on the 25, get them out, and you alleviate any chance of a return if you can kick it in the end zone every time in high school football.
With the pressure that Hobart's been getting on the defensive end, too, if they can really force another turnover situation in this red zone, Hobart can actually extend the lead. But other than that, right now, Highlands, they got themselves a good running game with the personnel they have out there.
Blake Vanek leads the offense back out on the 20-yard line following the touchback. Luviano, the running back, to his right. Vanek fakes the handoff, fires out wide for Salmon, and he's got a little room to work up past the 25, and Hobart takes him down at around the 28.
I like that Highland's taking their time after every play. They're not rushing it. They're not going hurry up and trying to save time. They're trying to chew that clock up on Hobart and trying to give them limited amounts of time to score. I like that.
Yeah, I think you have to remember it's a 4-quarter game. And if they just give themselves a chance in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Just 2 yards for a first down for Highland. Vanek rolls left. It's a speed option. He keeps it himself, and he slides down past the 30. And the referees will give Highland the first.
It's a great read. Great read. A little fake there to the running back. His key is that defensive lineman, right? The end. If he commits to the pitch, then you take it yourself. He got enough just to move the chains there. Great job by the young man.
He turned it upfield fast, too.
Yeah, he kind of went down. He knew what he had to get.
He knew he wasn't pitching it when he seen him
go.
Yeah.
So Highland looks to capitalize after the first down. It took him just 2 plays, both of which on the ground. It's a snap and handoff to Luviano in motion, and he gets a minimal gain. Hobart's front 7 their front 6 was not fooled.
And it was number 5 again, Mr. Bradley, Mr. Gibson.
This little counter, little inside handoff there. He's only about maybe one guy away from breaking that for a good run.
With his speed, too, Luviano's definitely got the speed to get around that corner.
Yeah. Wasn't that far away.
Nope.
Once again, Highland elects to huddle up. Now they break it with 14 seconds left on the play clock. No running backs beside Vanek in shotgun. 4 receivers in the pattern. Luviano in motion. Vanek fakes it to him and keeps it himself, but Hobart knocks him back.
There was a host of them on that one.
Yeah, they brought the house. It's one of those where you move the line of scrimmage back about 3 yards, right? They moved the entire offensive line and put them on their heels.
5 blocking 6.
Yep.
So 3rd down and 10 for Highland. After the first down on the last set of downs, Hobart's defense has them back behind schedule. Vanek alone in the backfield in shotgun. Hobart shows pressure, and they bring the blitz, but the flag goes. This should be a false start.
Hobart was bringing the heat also.
They were. The dogs were in the kennel, and they unleashed them.
Yep, they were. I think Highland saw that, got a little antsy. But if you're Highland, you have to stay in third manageable, right? You can't make it third and long, because Hobart's just going to pin their ears back and go after the quarterback.
And that's what it looked like right there.
Sure did.
Hobart was showing blitz, and the Highland O-line flinched. And now they have to deal with 3rd and 15.
Working behind the sticks again, that's another situation. And then on 3rd down as well. We'll see if they can move it in the air now, or they'll try to work what they've been on the edges.
4 receivers in the pattern for Highland, 2 on either side of the formation. It's a low snap. Vanek has to pounce on it, and Hobart knocks him down.
Gavin Miller again. He's there when that ball comes out. He's a ball hawk, I tell you.
That Highland quarterback gets a little happy feet when he knows pressure's coming.
He sure
right?
does.
He was peeking up. I know it was a bad snap.
The center didn't do him any favors.
No,
though.
he did not. It was a bad snap, but he was peeking up. He felt the defense coming.
He sure did.
He was lucky. He maybe should have just fell on the ball.
Yeah.
He's lucky that he got a good bounce and the ball came right back to him.
Daniel Leffel on to punt for the 2nd time tonight. Willie Shearer back to return on the Highland 43.
Ooh, they brought him. And that was
Look at that wind.
They tipped it.
Highland has to down it inside their own 25. The referees spot this one on the Highland 16.
A 1-yard punt, gentlemen.
Was that blocked?
I'm gonna have to say yes if it was.
For the sake of the punter's ego right now, let's say that was blocked. But
I mean, we are in Indiana. Hurricane Ian may have had a little bit to do with that one.
But that's kind of what we talked about at the beginning of the game. The flags are coming. It's not that bad, but the ball, you put the ball up there.
It definitely caught itself a heat pocket up there.
Like one of my drives that got a little fat drive going on. Got a little chunky there.
Hobart's got a short field 1st and 10 in the red zone. It's a handoff to Gibson, but he doesn't have too much room to work. He takes a couple Trojans with him out to around the 12-yard line, so a gain of 4 on 1st down. Hobart is in position to score the game's first touchdown once again.
Yeah, that was the first time I think we've called this guy's number 7, Javi Castillo, Jr., 5'10". That was 1 tackle away from being a touchdown, I think, there.
And Bradley will drag you into the end zone.
And he did there.
The good thing is Bradley averages 6.3 yards a carry, and they're holding him to around 3 or 4.
Fake the handoff. Ehrlich carries past the 10, and he's down at the Highland 8. So a 3rd and 2.
I was going to say,
Hobart can pick up a first down without scoring.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a big stop for Highland here too. If you can hold them to 3 again, that'd be really nice if you're a Highland Trojan fan, and if you're Hobart, you want to get the ball in the end zone and get 6.
3 or nothing is what they're looking.
Handoff, Gibson has some space up the middle, and he's inside the Highland 5 for a first down.
Aramis McNutt on that one. He's in there again. Another one of those wrestlers with those hard-nosed tackles.
It may have saved a touchdown for the moment, but Hobart has the game's first goal-to-go situation. And the way that Hobart's running game is operated, I think this ball goes right back to Trey Gibson.
I think you're right.
2 running backs in the backfield. The handoff stays
Gibson.
with Ehrlich towards the end zone.
There
He's
it
in.
is.
Touchdown, Brickies.
The Brickies wanted everybody to think it was going to Trey.
The read option works to perfection, and Hobart has the game's first touchdown. It's 9-0.
Again, that was it feels like the game should be about 17-0, not 9-0, right?
Right.
I mean, they've dominated the game. They just got to put points on the board.
Well, Highland's definitely playing some good red zone defense right now.
Yeah, but the Hobart offense is starting to warm up, and like you mentioned pregame about Ehrlich getting 250 yards. That's a real possibility if they leave him in the game long enough. But
that's right.
The way the corners are sloughing off.
Pimentel's extra point is good, and Hobart's lead is up to double digits. It's 10-0 with 5:46 left to play in the second quarter. We'll take a short break, but Highland's offense is in need of a response when we come back. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thank you for taking me. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
Oh, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me.
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea. Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage.
Hobart's offense has scored on back-to-back possessions, and Highland is up against it early. 10-0 Brickies, 5:46 left to go in the second quarter. Ryan Zimmerman here alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson, and as we expected, Hobart's offense is starting to find a rhythm.
They are, and Highland's doing their best to hang in there, but it just feels like Hobart is on the verge of pulling away here pretty quickly.
We'll see if Highland can pull off something a little bit different here and put together a nice little drive on this one before halftime.
Pimentel boots it away. Luviano slips. The ball goes over his head. He picks it up at the 2, and he is taken down almost immediately.
8. Maybe 10.
Luviano slipped trying to field the kickoff, and Highland will have to get started inside their own 10.
That's tough, and there it is again, that third phase of the game. That really kills you if you aren't really clicking on all cylinders.
The referees spot this ball at the 9-yard line, so Highland essentially has to go the length of the field if they want to get on the board. That special teams unit has really shot Highland in the foot. They had that 1-yard punt just a few moments ago, and now the miscue on the kickoff return.
They're definitely trying to put themselves at a disadvantage in their start, but the confidence level of the wide receivers, they're moving. So I don't think they're worried about it.
Vanek in shotgun. He hands off to Luviano. He's got room to work around the near side, but it looked like Connor Stafford closed a bunch of ground quickly to hold that to a short gain of around 3.
Yeah, I thought number 21, Colton Charles.
Excuse me, Colton Charles, you're right.
Yeah, he did a great job shedding that block, didn't he? He good hands, and he always had the runner in his sights, and he did a great job of staying in control.
That's always a harder situation when you're a corner, is shedding that lead block.
You're talking about being on an island, right? I mean, you know it's coming.
Definitely.
2nd and 7 for the Trojans. Vanek rolls left, another speed option. He keeps it himself, and he's up to around the Highland 16.
I think the confidence was there from that last read, and he misread that one because staying in phase was Luviano, and he was one-on-one with the corner.
In a situation like that, you have to trust that your running back is going to make the man miss, and if he did, he would have had a bunch of green turf in front of him. Instead, it's a 3rd and 4 for the Highland offense. If nothing else, they just want to get a first down and settle their offense down.
It's like Hobart's got 2 timeouts left. Let's see if they get to stop here. See if they call a timeout. Maybe.
Play clock under 5. Vanek gets the snap off. He fires left. He has Castillo at the 21. Hit. And he's taken down immediately. Cody Johnston hit him immediately as he caught the ball, but it's enough for a Highland first down.
Yeah, that was a good play for Highland right there.
Johnson pulling the chair out from underneath him.
That's one of those you see on TV. You're like, that had to hurt. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That had to hurt.
Definitely makes you feel fortunate that you're up here instead of being down there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now with the change of the rules, they don't want you hitting up high anymore, so you're going to see a lot more of those hits.
But I've also seen you can't hit him too low. You know, I mean, it's like, what can you tackle? I don't, whatever.
Josh Hubbard, the new running back for Highland. The give immediately goes to him. He lost the football. There's a huge pile forward. The referees have to wade through it, and Hobart has it.
Bradley Gibson.
You kept saying we're going to hear his name a lot. Bradley Gibson with the fumble recovery, and Hobart's offense gets it at the 22.
That's not what Highland wanted right there. That was worst case scenario. Giving Hobart the ball close to the red zone here at the end of the first half.
We can honestly say right now that Hobart definitely isn't beating Highland. Highland's beating themselves right now with these mistakes.
That's what we mentioned before the game. A lot of these games are lost. Not necessarily won, but lost by the team that makes the most mistakes.
That's correct.
Hobart gets to operate with another short field. They're on the outskirts of the red zone. Pistol formation, it's a toss to Gibson. He's got room to work. Makes a man miss at the 20, but he gets wrapped up at the 18.
A lot of room on the outside right there. He decided he wanted to cut it up right there. He must have seen something we couldn't see from up here.
They give the spot at the 17, actually, so a 2nd and 6 for the Hobart offense. Ehrlich goes right back to Gibson, and he's got a minimal gain. Nick Johnson had the initial contact, and Highland's defense sets up the Hobart offense with a 3rd and 6.
Highland defense in the red zone is definitely showing up right now. They're tightening down all the screws for sectionals because they're going against a really high-powered offense, and they're not allowing them to do anything.
Hobart has 3 receivers in the pattern, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Ehrlich retreats.
Nothing there.
He's looking to scramble, fires towards the sideline, and he gets his target.
Keep the play alive, right? I mean, he just kept his feet moving, keep his head up the field.
Head on a swivel.
Receivers did a great job of little scramble drill, right? Just get open.
That's right.
Find a spot.
Jalen Williams' catch has Hobart set up with 1st and goal. Ball is spotted on the Highland 4. Ehrlich takes the snap, handoff Gibson up the gut, and he's got nowhere to go.
Short change.
Referees are actually going to say he lost yardage on that play. So Highland's defense makes the stop on 1st down, but still a long way to go if they want to keep Hobart out of the end zone. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Ehrlich keeps it himself. He jukes towards the goal line, and he is in. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, and Hobart leads it 16-0.
Hobart's learning right now that with all eyes on Trey, he's definitely going to have a chance.
How about this sophomore? He's been making correct read after correct read in the red zone, and he's rewarded with a pair of tutties.
It's going to be fun to see how he continues to develop as he gets stronger, as he gets more reps, but he's got quite the future.
With a little bit more weight, too. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
When he's a sophomore in college, he's going to be a different animal.
The Pimentel extra point makes it 17-0 Hobart. It has been all Brickies here in the 2nd quarter. The Pimentel field goal and Ehrlich rushing touchdowns have them up by 3 scores. We'll take it to break. We'll see if Highland can get some points before halftime here on Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Line if you want them.
I think I'm probably going to use that.
Hobart has started to separate themselves from Highland in the second quarter. 17 unanswered points, and they're sitting pretty with halftime approaching. Ryan Zimmerman here alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson on the Region Sports Network, and what we expected to happen is happening. Hobart has been far and away the better team, and they are punishing Highland's mistakes.
They're starting to pull away now, definitely.
And if you're Highland, you don't want to give them any help. Right, I mean, make them earn it, make them go the length of the field at least. But right now, if you're Highland, let's just get in the locker room and regroup. Let's not give Hobart any more chances to score.
Yeah, Hobart's counterpunching every single mistake, and they've got to try to fix this up in the locker room and talk about it a little bit. Hobart, they've got to stay on top though, because they're looking to extend this lead and maybe get some work in for their second string and see if they can get them playoff ready as well.
Pimentel squibs this kick.
Oh, that ball's live.
Live ball on the 20. It's still loose, and it's out of bounds. Hobart recovered it, but they did not do so in time, and Highland gets to keep the football.
Close. It was odd to see that situation. I guess Osika's seen something that we didn't see.
Well, again, that's just one thing, Danny, that we talked about is you're given these opportunities, and does it work?
Right.
Is this something we can use later on? I mean, that's a nice little play, and Highland wasn't ready for it, and you put the ball in someone's hands that didn't necessarily expect the ball. So it just gives something their upcoming opponents something they have to prepare for as well.
So Vanek has to go 85 yards to punch this one in with just 1:39 to go. He rolls out on the first play, pressure in his face. He fires towards the far sideline, and it's out of Stevie Salmon's range.
He's having a hard time throwing off of his back foot. He isn't getting enough time to plant and stand in there. There's too much pressure on the outside. That was rumble on that one on the pressure. And, of course, Bradley Gibson was right behind him.
Maybe if you're Highland again, just run a little draw play. You got the defense. They got their ears pinned back.
That's right.
Maybe a little draw,
little
screen, get something, get that clock moving. You do not. I know I just said it like 20 seconds ago, but you don't want Hobart to score again here in this half. You just don't.
Yeah, and Hobart still has those timeouts, and I wouldn't be surprised if they keep passing and incomplete, they're going to use those.
That's what I'm saying. To get the clock moving if you're Highland.
Highland runs out of time there. They have to use their third and final timeout of the half to avoid the delay of game, and now they are really up against it.
You definitely need to get into the locker room right now.
That's what I'm saying. Just run some off tackle and move the chains, move the clock.
Couple traps and get in there and warm up a little bit.
While both teams talk it over, we'll send it to break. 1:33 left to go in the second quarter. Hobart leads Highland 17-0 on Game Night in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group's agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love.
Come on. I had to play like I did.
No more timeouts for Highland, and they find themselves well back in their own territory. 2nd and 10, ball on their own 16. Vanek hands off late to Luviano. He's got room to work across the 30, and he's got some blockers in front of him. He gets pushed out just shy of midfield. We were talking about it before we went to break. Run some draw, run some off tackle, and they did just that. However, there is a flag on the field.
It looked like there was a little bit of the tugging on the side there. I was hoping they didn't see that because that would have helped out Highland on that. I think 50 knows it was him.
So it's 15 yards from there, correct?
It should be from the spot.
10. Or 10. Sorry,
from the
10.
spot.
Might still be a first down, right?
It should be from the first down's from the spot though, because it was. Well, then again, we're in the booth and not out there.
He's right there. He's got a first down.
All right.
So Highland does get the first down, but it feels like 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the Trojans. Luviano had a huge gain, but the penalty keeps him, yes, to a first down, but they're still within their own 30.
Yeah, with the as aggressive as the Brickies have been playing here in this second quarter on defense, that's the kind of the play to look at, the draw, the little misdirection.
Oh, wow,
they're coming. The throw right over the middle. He has Salmon at the 35, spins out of a tackle, and a couple of Brickies get him down right at the marker, and the referees say that's enough for a first. Clock stops for the Chains.
No timeouts.
Yeah, they're bringing backers, and that just leaves the safeties all the way back. You can dink and dunk all the way down the field here at this
10
point.
and 15 yards each time.
Sure.
Highland gets right on the line. No timeouts left in the first half. 1:03 to go.
They backed out now.
Yeah,
it's a quick screen towards Salmon. He lost his footing, and he goes down at his own 35. Highland cannot afford something like that.
I think Hobart's calling timeout.
Yeah,
I don't blame them. They want this ball back.
51 seconds left. I see that. I mean, if you're looking at it, there's been a couple slips on the Highland side tonight. I know the field it's a little wet out there from earlier in the day, but it's costing them.
Yeah, again, that's why I admire Highland here for trying to get the ball down the field, but at this point I think I would be just running the ball and let's get to halftime, but keep that clock running.
So Hobart only has one more timeout. You have to imagine if Highland runs the ball again here, they use it and try and force an incompletion on third down if Highland elects to pass.
What does Coach K have in the book? What's he got in the bag?
2 inside handoffs, please.
51 seconds left in the second quarter. Hobart has put up all 17 of their points in this second quarter, and they lead Highland 17-0. After the timeout, Highland's offense gets back out onto the field in shotgun. Clock actually gets reset. The referees decide to put 3 more seconds on the clock, so 54 to go in the second quarter. Fanek calls for the snap. He rolls to his right, nowhere to go. He just throws it away.
Was there anybody there?
Well, he's outside the pocket.
Oh, he sure was.
But again, you're playing right into Hobart's hands right now. You got
Hobart
Ehrlich.
doesn't have to use their timeout here.
I know.
That's my point. You got Ehrlich. You got all his weapons, just chomping at the bit, trying to get back on the field. If I'm Highland right here, I maybe run the ball just to get Hobart to call a timeout.
I agree.
I'm looking at
right
Ehrlich right now. He's furthest forward on the Hobart sideline. You know, he's chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
He's in Coach's ear already, letting him know.
It's 3rd and 14 for Highland. Looks like Hobart might just protect the sticks here. Luviano comes in motion. Ball goes to him, but I think they're going to say someone moved early.
Yeah, it's a little illegal motion.
A couple people moving on that one.
Too many people moving pre-snap.
So it is a false start, and that'll set Highland back 5 more yards, so 3rd and 19 from the 30. They're going to catch. I apologize. It was a false start penalty. They're going to get Johnson for it. 48 seconds left to play in the first half.
And you have to punt into the wind, too.
Punt into the wind. That last time was 1 yard.
Yeah, that was my pitching wedge. That was not good.
It's a handoff Luviano, and Hobart was ready for it. They use their
Hobart
final
calls their
timeout, and with 44 seconds left to go in the quarter, Highland has to punt it away, and Noah Ehrlich gets one more shot at points before the half.
Yeah, and that's what it's just, again, for Coach Isik and his staff, gives them a chance to work on something. A little, 40-second offensive drill, see if you can get in scoring range with no timeouts.
Highland will punt when we come back. 44 seconds left in the first half. And while we have a moment, let's take a look at the Strack and Van Til out-of-town scoreboard. Strack and Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery. Hanover Central is up big on Wheeler right now. It's 21-0 in that contest. West Side is pitching a shutout on Calumet as well. They're up 18-0. Andrean also got in on that party. They're blanking Kankakee Valley 20-0. And finally, Lake Central is on the board against Maryville, but they're trailing 14-3 in that Duneland Conference contest.
Maryville and Hanover and Andrean there could potentially make a run here in the postseason. We have a few teams that could get down to Indianapolis, don't you think, Danny?
There's a couple region teams that are always playing each other, so their records don't dictate exactly how good they are. If they're in another area, they could be undefeated.
Daniel Leffel on to punt once again for Highland. This time he gets a little something behind it. Shearer will let it bounce, and he just lets Highland down it at the Hobart 49. 34 seconds left to go in the first half, and Ehrlich only has to go half the length of the field.
I want to see his arm. Let's just drop back, Noah, and just see how far you can throw that baby.
He's got a 45-yarder in him easy.
I know he does. He's got the wind behind him. Just let's see one.
Watch Jalen Williams right here, because Jalen had 12 catches before this game started for about 148 yards.
Or Nick Johnson, your 6'4" tight end across the middle somewhere, right? No, I'm sorry. Gosh, who's the big guy from Hobart? I'm sorry. I just read the wrong dude's name. Cody Johnson.
Yeah.
Did you say that? I just had an absolute
Noah Johnson
Friday night
is on
event
Highland,
right
yes.
I did not drink before this, I promise.
Ehrlich back to
Here's
throw.
that pass.
He wants to go deep over the middle,
Right across
and he's got
to Gibson.
And he's inside the red zone. How about that for letting it fly?
They're definitely going to run this hurry up right here. They got 27.6 seconds left, and I'm looking for a slant right across the middle to Gibson. Again, he's playing in the slot.
The referee waves his arm and winds the clock. Under 25 seconds in the second quarter. Ehrlich to pass once again. Rolls to his left towards the sideline. He looks to throw it into Stafford, but it is incomplete.
Another one of those next-level decisions by Ehrlich right there. He's seen the way it was open, and he pointed out, hey, take off, and hot route move.
Right, and you got 3 more downs to get that shot. But yeah,
I'm not sure he's got time for 3 more downs, though. Just 13 seconds left on the clock. What do you do here? Do you just go for the end zone?
Well, he's got some height advantage here. You got run a real slot fade to the.
They're in a dime.
It's a design rollout right, fires towards the near side, and it's caught. Aiden Leonard hauls it in, and he gets out of bounds too at the the Highland 5.
Leonard that little slot there. He ran a little quick out. Did a good job of getting out of bounds. Did he count him out of bounds?
Toe tapped and everything. Leonard, a legacy name here at Hobart.
Yeah, no kidding.
7 seconds to go. The clock is not moving after Leonard went out of bounds after the catch. Ehrlich drops back.
Got him wide.
He's got to hurry towards the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Stop the clock.
0.6 seconds left.
Leonard had it in his hands, but he couldn't haul in the touchdown throw, and Hobart has no choice but to take the 3 going into halftime.
Yeah, the opportunity to get 3 out of this is better than nothing, but he would have loved to have 6 right there.
Definitely good thing that he took a shot at it, because there was a couple opportunities to get that 6. So on the film, they're going to see a couple options.
Pimentel on to kick the field goal to make it 20-0 Hobart heading into the locker room. And he converts.
it's good to see Pimentel get a chance to get in there because he's been sitting behind a lot of really good kickers for the last 4 years, and now he's a senior and he's showing how good he is on all phases of it. Kickoff, he can punt if he wanted to, field goals, the kid can boot everything.
Yeah, we've talked about how valuable those guys are.
They are. They win or lose, you're the hero or the villain.
Hobart is sitting pretty. 20 second quarter points have them up 20-0 heading to halftime. We'll take a short break, but we'll be right back for the halftime recap here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
I'm Tim O'Brien, former Hobart Brickyard Northwestern Wildcat quarterback. When I was playing, I always wanted to be prepared for the unexpected, planning for what might come next. As a certified financial planner with Edward Jones Investments here in Hobart, I pass on that same philosophy to my clients. Planning for the future is important. The same goes for advertising. I plan ahead and turn to the Region Sports Network because they get the job done for me. And I therefore put my trust in them, knowing they are the only game in town. And go Brickies!
Family owned and operated since 1969, Holiday Rent-A-Car offers a wide variety of newer model cars, vans, and SUVs. Free local customer pickup and drop-offs are available. Debit cards are accepted. Restrictions apply. All rental cars are for sale. Financing is available. Located at 3709 West 37th Avenue in Hobart, Holiday Rent-A-Car is open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. Call 219-942-8561 or visit them on the web at holidayrentacar.biz.
Certified financial planner Tim O'Brien is your Edward Jones financial advisor. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. That's why financial advisor Tim O'Brien is a proud supporter of Hobart football on the Region Sports Network. Call 219-947-8208 or stop by his office at 1455 South Lake Park Avenue across from St. Mary's Hospital for all your investment needs. Go Brickies! Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. For over 50 years, family-owned Bud Insurance Agency in Hobart has been providing insurance services and protection to Northwest Indiana. With protection provided by Auto Owners Insurance, Dave, Bob, and Mike can custom fit a policy to meet a person's needs. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Bud Insurance treats each client with personal attention, making your visit a pleasant one. Stop by 615 West 3rd Street in Hobart or give them a call at 942-1028. And you can always visit them on the web at budinsagency.com.
Connecting the first half and the second half of tonight's game, it's the Hose Connections Halftime Report, presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Ryan Zimmerman here with you alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson, and it's essentially what we expected. It was 0-0 after the first quarter, but Hobart started to pull away in the second, and they lead at 20-0 in no small part due to Noah Ehrlich's decision-making at the quarterback position.
His footwork behind the line and keeping Highland behind the sticks the majority of the game as well has definitely made an impression on the game, as well as the third phase, as you were talking about, Doug. It's really made the difference.
Yeah, again, we talked about with the distractions they've had. It's been a rough week for Hobart football.
It really has.
And, it was a little rough starting out, but they got in the flow, and they got things going the right direction for themselves.
Second half's going to be
Noah Ehrlich rushing touchdowns and 2 Ryan Pimentel field goals account for the Hobart scoring. But what doesn't quite show up on the box score is how they've taken advantage of Highland mistakes, especially on special teams. You had that blocked punt in the first half and then the slip on the kickoff, and Hobart has been right there to pounce on all of Highland's mistakes.
It seems like they're in the right place at the right time all the time in this game so far. The first half has been a little sloppy. I'm expecting the second half to be a little different, but the way it's going right now, I think we're in for another replay of the first half.
I agree, and I think, again, that's just who Hobart is right now. They're tough, and they're ranked for a reason, and they have things going the right direction right now. And if you're Highland, just regroup, make it a ball game. We talked about it earlier. Go back to in the first couple drives were pretty good. They were moving the football, staying balanced, but you can't have, botched snaps. You can't have dropped passes when you're trying to beat a team that it's going to be an uphill battle either way. But you got to help yourself out.
Yeah, Highland's going to definitely try to take their shots at trying to even the score in the third. But I assume that if they've realized that they can't do that, that Coach K starts putting a few moves out there to see if he can't play spoiler in the sectional for a couple teams.
So both teams are on completely different sides of the spectrum going into the second half. Hobart's just looking to put this one away while Highland will try and claw their way back into it. Let's take a look at the Castle Subaru keys to the second half. What do both teams need to do in order to take home the win?
Well, I think for Highland, you have to stay like we've been talking about, Danny. You got to stay within the chains, stay in manageable downs. Offensively, again, Hobart pinned their ears back a few times. And they really brought the house, and don't get in that position. Make sure you stay in the balance and get second and 5, 3rd and 3 in that situation. As soon as you get 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, you put yourself against your back up against the wall. It's going to be a long night.
You really want to limit your mistakes as well. There's been a few times where you really can't stop from making mistakes, and it's understandable to make them, but it's how you respond to the mistake and how you act afterwards. Highland doesn't look like they're ready to submit. Regardless of what the score is, they're still going to be playing. They're still going to show up. They still got their numbers on. So I assume they're going to be trying to throw some haymakers in the beginning of this third.
Those are the keys to the game, brought to you by our friends at Castle Subaru. Check out the Castle inventory of new and used vehicles at castlesubaru.com. You're watching the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web
13 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117. Pre-plan for your family's sake. Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
No, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me.
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage. Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
Welcome back to the Brickyard here in Hobart, Indiana. The Hobart High School Brickies are laying it down on the Highland Trojans through the first half by a score of 20-0. Ryan Zimmerman here alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson as the Hose Connections halftime show continues as we take a look at the hometown scoreboard brought to you by Strachan Van Til. All games that will be mentioned are currently at halftime, and boy, the defenses have really come to play tonight. We'll start with the 2 games in which both teams have scored points, but we'll begin with the closer of the 2 games as LaPorte and Michigan City are locked in a tight battle. LaPorte is winning that one 14-12. Meanwhile, Crown Point has a little bit of separation on Chesterton. They're ahead 28-7 at the break. And as I teased, we will finish this scoreboard update with all 3 games that are currently featuring shutouts. We'll start with River Forest as Calumet has not had their offense going, but they've done enough. They're up 12-0. Meanwhile, Hanover Central just dropped the hammer on Wheeler. They're ahead 34-0. Meanwhile, Andrean continues to blank Kankakee Valley 20-0. And if results hold, Andrean will take home the Northwest Crossroads Conference Championship here in 2022. When we come back, the second half between Hobart and Highland here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Sentier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Sentier branch today or visit us on the
Team
web.
Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
It's Hobart and it's Highland 20-0 through 2 quarters here at the Brickyard. Ryan Zimmerman here alongside Danny Bell and Doug Nelson here on the Region Sports Network. And fellas, Hobart just figured it out in the second quarter and they haven't looked back.
Yeah, they had good balance, right, offensively, and they got their stops when they had to on defense. So, again, if you're Hobart, you just want to keep that going, and if you're Highland, you want to try to, again, sustain some drives and try to get in the red zone and try to make something happen.
Hobart's definitely wanting to stay routine right now. They're really not wanting to put out too much, but they kind of want to see what they're willing to do in the second half. And as a coach, I always try to put my guys in a situation. You know, situationals are really good, and when you have this kind of a lead, you can do that. You know, you can take those 3rd and 14 shots. You know, these are now the last 30 minutes. We'll see what they got left.
One thing we didn't mention during the Hose Connections halftime report is just how well the Hobart defense played, with the exception of one drive where Hobart allowed Highland to get down the field a little bit, drove into the red zone, but they bent but didn't break. But other than that, their defense has been locked down.
Yeah, they made the proper adjustments, and their reads are right now, and they're super aggressive. We talked about that. They were bringing the house and putting the pressure on the quarterback, and he was getting a little happy feet, and his head was peeking up a little bit from the snap. So, they've made their proper adjustments, and we'll see if Coach Koulianos can make another adjustment. You know, that halftime chess match, you never know what can happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if Coach puts another tight end in there to add a little bit to that line. 5 blocking 6 is getting tough.
So when we come back for the second half, Hobart will kick off to Highland, and that's coming up in just a few moments. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
We're just about ready to go here at the Brickyard. It's Hobart 20, Highland 0, as the second half is set to get underway. Ryan Zimmerman, Doug Nelson, and Danny Bell here with you on the Region Sports Network. And guys, if Hobart can continue to play the way that they've been playing, we might be looking at a potential run here. This is a team that's had a long history of playoff success, and this is one of those games where you just try to get everything working so that when the chips are down, you're ready to go.
They're pitching a shutout right now, so if they can keep this going like this, I wouldn't be surprised if we have another replay of the first half, like I said earlier.
Well, you're talking about it, too, guys. They have the recipe to be a successful team in the postseason. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, and they've got an aggressive defense that can fly around and make things happen. So in 2020, they lost in the state championship. But this looks like a team that it's primed to advance and make some noise on the way down.
I agree. There's a few teams out there that if they get matched up well with Hobart can make a really nice run and deep into the postseason.
And you know also, Danny, that the home field also helps in the postseason.
It does.
Being on a bus and driving to New Prairie with a time change and there's just no good way to get there. You know, that kind of thing. That's something that really does affect the ball game.
Right, in the Logansport area as well. A lot of the times we end up having to travel out that way. This year I think they added a couple people back and forth. They switched them, so there could be some even farther traveling this
Yeah.
year, depending on your draw.
And sectional 17 has I believe 8 teams.
Yes.
In it. There's a lot of teams in that sectional.
So Pimentel is off to kick it away for Hobart. Salmon and Luviano back to return for Highland.
We had a muff on the last one with Luviano, and he got stuck around the 8. See if they kick it to him again or they go over to Salmon. Salmon's the guy with the legs.
I was thinking it might be a little
They
pooch
pooched
kid
again.
with that wind.
Decides to pooch kick it, and their return man is laid out at the 35, and here come the flags.
I believe he called a fair catch. Right? He called for a fair catch.
It looked like he did. I think you're right, and the Hobart special teamer didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't. How often do you see the pooch guy get called for a fair catch?
That's a smart kid.
Yeah, that's real
Presence
smart.
of mind to do that.
For
Now
self-preservation, yeah, that's.
And now he
real
just set
smart.
Highland's offense up at around midfield.
Ha! It was number 57, Aramis McNutt.
Yeah.
Another wrestler.
You've been talking about how good he's been all night long, and perhaps he just had his most savvy play of the game.
Smart little kids out there, I tell you.
One way to alleviate the. That's your counter to the pooch kick, right? I mean, that's
Right.
just catch it, call fair catch, and that way they can't. Because a lot of times you're looking up, and that guy's just getting a running start. You're going to get clocked.
And now he just got a 15-yard return because of that decision he made.
Right.
The kick-catch interference puts the Highland offense on their own 49. Vanek in shotgun with 2 receivers out right. The handoff is faked. Vanek has some room. He's
Vanek's
got a
got
first
some
down and
green.
more. Still on his feet, and Hobart wrestles him down at around the 29.
Highland making the switch from running back to quarterback on the run. This could be something that could really put them back in the game if they keep this going. Playing that edge run with the quarterback.
I'm going to give some love to our offensive lineman there. Number 77, Wilfred Akanbi. I'm sorry, Wilfred, if I butchered your name, but that was great effort by you, young man. Get out there and lead the way for your quarterback running behind you. Great job.
Highland, a couple of smart decisions to start the second half. Handoff goes to Luviano. This time Hobart has him wrapped up. Maurice MacArthur was the one to push him to the ground, but Danny, your best friend, Bradley Gibson, was in and around the action as well.
Mr. Cleanup. I love that kid. He's wiry as heck. I like his neck pad that he wears, too. My son wore the neck pad. That's old school 90s.
He really has that blue-collar feel to him. I guess that's my way of teasing the Boilermakers local 374 blue-collar player of the game. But he really does have that style to his play. 2nd and 10 from the Hobart 29. Vanek handles the low snap, steps up in the pocket, avoids
Gavin
one sack,
Miller.
but runs right into another. This time it's Noah Miller, and Highland is behind schedule offensively.
Gavin's been in that backfield a lot tonight. He's got about 55 tackles, and 51 of them are solo. Like, if he's in there, he's making the tackle.
Well, this is what we talked about for Highland. You're 3rd and long. You know,
Again.
This is not where you want to be. This is not what's going to help you get back into this ball game.
Playing behind the sticks all night. Overload on the right.
4-down
was
territory
that?
for
Yeah.
Highland. The flags fly. Looked like
Jumped.
someone moved early on the defensive side.
Yeah, he was antsy over there.
Center lifted the ball, too. Yep, offsides.
So Hobart gets charged with the offsides, and that entirely negates the sack. Highland gets those 5 yards back, and it's 3rd and 10 from the 29.
The 3rd down, even with the sticks now. One nice dink and dump right on the side.
Vanek remains in shotgun for Highland. He rolls to his left. He throws, and he
nice.
has
Hubbard.
Hubbard up to the 15, and Highland is back in the red zone with a new set of downs.
That was great patience there by Vanek, letting the play happen, right? I mean, he was rolling out to his left and waiting for his receiver to make his break. And he finally got separation from his defender. That was great patience there.
Really nice touch on the ball as well.
Yeah.
So Highland, after originally being back in third and 15, moves the chains, and they're back in the Hobart red zone. They're back in the red zone for the second time today. Last time they were in this position, they ended up turning the ball over on downs. We'll see if they can finally find their way onto the scoreboard. They fake the handoff. Vanek keeps it, and he's got nowhere to go.
He's going to lose a little bit on that one, maybe a yard.
There's Gavin Miller right there to throw him down like a rag doll.
I'd say he's got 4 tackles for loss tonight, Gavin Miller. Quietly.
If it's not 4, it's close to it. He has been a menace.
As Hobart always, they get tougher. Here, we talked about a little bit, Danny, was in the red zone.
In the red zone,
they really buckle down, don't they?
They do. Second half, it's kind of as almost they get that second wind, and they really come at you.
The QB keeper goes for a loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13 from the 18. Vanek fires over the middle. He has Salmon. Takes a couple steps backwards and right into a Gavin Miller hit. If Salmon hadn't moved after making the catch, he would have had a bigger gain. But instead, it's 3rd down on the Hobart 12 for a 3rd and 6. Highland perhaps right back on schedule offensively and down by 20. You have to imagine this is 4-down territory.
I'm assuming that they're going to go 4 down for the next 23 minutes.
Vanek rolls to his left. It's a design QB keeper. Gets past the 10 and down to the 9.
About 3 short maybe?
Right back to the original line of scrimmage, and no hesitation here for Highland. Coach Koulianos is going to keep his offense out there.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Grind it out, see if you can't get this first down, and then work against that.
The whistles go.
This is a ref's timeout?
The officials take a timeout. Our friends at greatnews.life have outstanding photo coverage of tonight's game, and that can be found at nwi.life later tonight after the game. And you can find all kinds of good news and past game coverage related to Northwest Indiana on their sites. 4th and 3 for Highland, a make-or-break moment for the Trojans. Movement up front.
Did he draw him offside?
Which way is this going?
Wow. I don't even know. It looked like the Hobart jumped, and then the Highland kid decided to come out of his stance rather than jump.
But that's encroachment then, right?
Yeah.
For high school, I don't know what.
So Highland with a tricky maneuver there, and it nets him a 1st and goal from the 5.
Little hard count.
You got to watch the ball there, Danny. You can't fall for that.
When you're right in front of the ball, too, you're the
man.
Saturday films, boy. You're going to get chewed.
Perhaps they'll have to run that one off first day of the next week, too. Play clock under 6. It's a handoff up the middle. Luviano towards the goal line, and the referees mark him just short.
Ooh.
Highland tried to get a little tricky. They brought in backup quarterback Max Smith to add a running element to their offense, and they're right on the doorstep of the goal line.
They've shared time this year, Vanek and Smith. They've almost have identical passing stats.
Nice drive by Highland here.
Really impressive moving it down there, and a few mistakes by Hobart that helped them stay in it.
Smith under center. He sneaks it himself, and he is in. Touchdown, Highland. They're on the board, and their deficit is down to 14.
It's a ball game, boys. We got a ball game, and they just got to. Again, they did a good job of staying methodical, staying within. They made plays, they executed when they had to, and Hobart helped them out a couple times with some penalties, but they did what they had to do to stay in the game.
Highland did the same thing against Lowell. Lowell beat them 21-14 in a pretty close game, and it looks like Highland's trying to make that similar style game right now, dragging it out to that 3rd and 4th quarter in the late game scores.
Jason Bogner, the straight-on kicker for the extra point, and it is good. So Highland is on the board. Hobart's lead is down to 2 scores at 20-7. Fellas, we talked about this at length during the Host Connections halftime show. Highland needed to come up with something offensively to stay in the game, and that was exactly what the doctor ordered.
Well, they did. Let's see how Hobart responds.
Coming out in the third quarter, he looks good. So Hobart's going to have to come back with a nice 1-2 punch and a biscuit at the end there. See if they can't extend it back.
So no shutout for Hobart. Perhaps I'm sure the players will care a lot more about that than the coaching staff, but still, they have a comfortable 13-point lead. And their offense, who has been excellent throughout the second quarter, gets their first crack at the Highland defense in the second half.
Yeah, again, we'll see how Ehrlich and his crew can see if they can move the chains and just like we said, just stay on schedule and see if Highland can see what adjustments Highland made.
Do we see an onside?
Not yet.
All right, good.
Highland kicks it deep, and Hobart lets it go out of bounds. That's a costly penalty for the Trojans.
That's not what you want to do after that and give Hobart extra yardage. That's more field.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do after scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of angst to get going. Hobart's ready to go right now as it is. You can see Ehrlich over there. He's smacking everybody, ready to go.
He doesn't need any help. He's pretty good.
6:08 to play in the third quarter. That first drive took up nearly half the quarter right there.
That's what Highland needs. They need those long drives, and they need better defense right now as well. If their defense can play like they do in the red zone right now, that's really going to help them.
We'll see how Hobart responds. It's a play-action fire up the middle, and it's outside the range of Jalen Williams. Ehrlich just put a little too much air under that pass. He had Williams up the seam.
Yeah, number 40, Nick Johnson, brought the pressure, maybe threw it a little quicker than he wanted to, right? He would have liked one more step from his receiver, but nice job by Highland there getting a stop.
If he would have waited one more second, he might not have got rid of that ball.
So 2nd and 10 for the Hobart offense. Ball on their own 35.
Oh, good opportunity to run the ball here.
A handoff to Gibson in the pistol. He's got room to work up the middle, and he's close to the marker. An 8-yard gain, and Hobart has 3rd and 2.
There's only 5 in the box.
Have spread out when you have the weapons
yeah.
that the Brickies have right now. That's it's nice to have that choice.
A little bit more meat in the middle now.
Williams moves across the formation for Hobart. It's another handoff. Gibson, and he gets stacked up right at the line to gain.
He got hit hard on that one.
He may have gotten one on the play. The referees will spot this ball at the 44. So
what do you do?
4th and 1 for Hobart.
Do you
and
punt
for
it?
the moment, the offense is staying out there.
I'm going for it.
Hard count it?
You could do that first, but with the weapons, you have choices. You could roll them out this way a little bit.
Highland looks like the switch to a 4-4.
They hand off to Gibson up the middle, and that proves a wise decision. A run of about 5 yards, and the Brickies convert on 4th down.
That's what I was talking about, Danny, with a play like that. And this isn't anything on either of these teams, but the fact that we don't get under the center, shorten that up a little bit, throw a fullback in there. I mean, I'm showing my age a little bit. I know.
A little bit of push on there when you get those.
Get a couple tight ends in there. Let's make it easy.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's why they brought me in, the young blood amongst the old heads.
Yeah,
that's right.
You don't got to remind me I'm old.
Ehrlich, a play action, fires over the middle, and it goes right through Williams' hands. That pass was right on target. I just don't think Williams got his head around in time.
Yeah, he was, again,
wide open, just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, he's got to turn his head. He got right past that first level, that linebacker. His safety was coming, but he had a little gap there.
Yep. If he would have tipped that a little bit, number 7 would have had that.
No, he was gone.
He was gone.
2nd and 10, ball on the Hobart 48. The Brickies remain in the pistol. Ehrlich to throw.
Oh.
He fires quickly down the far sidelines, and he overshoots Leonard.
You wonder, Danny, and you've seen it, you wonder how much the wind is playing effect right now. Just that's a thought.
He's
the
throwing
wind is coming.
And then you look at it, it's not really blowing steady. It's left, right, all coming from the north.
Yeah, he's floating long right now. So I don't know if the ball's just staying up or –
pressure on the edge there. Number 66 had a hard time. He had a nice 2 guys coming at him. He really had to pick one.
We'll see how Hobart attacks 3rd and long. Ehrlich to throw.
Good
Pressure
drop.
in his face. He spins out of a potential sack. Keeps his eyes downfield. Fires towards the near sideline. And
to
he's got Gibson. And that gets a first down.
That's
However,
next
a
level.
flag at the 40-yard line.
Is that a hold?
In the defensive backfield.
That's an ineligible player downfield, it looked like.
It is, in fact, an ineligible man downfield. So Ehrlich's Houdini-esque escape right there goes for naught, and Hobart goes back to their own 40-yard line with a 3rd and 15.
That's a great adjustment by Gibson to the ball, wasn't it?
It really was.
I thought he was covered.
I think coming back inbounds with it, you know, he made a move inside. The footwork in the beginning, though, the pressure came in, and Ehrlich, that's next level movement. And
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I know
a big
we try
drop.
not to beef up the kids when they're this young and everything, but man, this kid's he's got that next level movement.
It was a nice long drop.
Check that. The
like
ball,
you said, kept the play alive. I'm sorry.
The ball gets spotted to the 43-yard line. It's a toss to Gibson. He shows his patience, hits his hole, and he's got room to work.
And he's got the
up
first.
to the Hobart 42, and a gain of 15 for a Hobart first down.
Really good patience in the backfield. Gibson was staring down the defense, waiting for his lineman to get in front of him, and he just picked a lane and really stepped on the gas.
It was almost like zone blocking, wasn't it?
It really was.
It was a great read by Gibson right there.
The referees want to double-check this. They initially spotted the ball short of the line to gain by about a half yard, but I think they want to bring out the chains and confirm that.
The old free timeout.
I don't like that spot. I thought he was past it.
At least 1.5 yards past it, but I'm up here, and I'm sure my eyes are bad being I have these glasses on.
While the referees bring out the chains, we'd like to remind you that our friends at greatnews.life have outstanding photo coverage of tonight's game, and that can be found at nwi.life later tonight after the game. And you can find all kinds of good news and past game coverage related to Northwest Indiana on their sites. The referees are spotting this one short of the line to gain, and after it looked like Gibson had the first down, Hobart has their second 4th and short on the drive. Based on what they did the last time they were in 4th and 1, you have to imagine they're going to go for it again.
Danny, but this is one of those plays I'm talking about. I'm saying it again. You need 6 inches, and you're going to snap it 5 yards backwards. And, there's so many things that could go wrong. I just don't. You got a big, strong Ehrlich. Just sneak it. I don't know.
For the moment, Ehrlich lines up in the pistol. 3:35 to go in the third quarter. They hand off to Gibson. He hops over a few players, and he's got enough. Down to the Highland 40-yard line, and Hobart has their second 4th down conversion of this drive.
Gibson usually throwing the shoulder on most of his games. Tonight he's looking like a gazelle out there.
Yeah, he went low. Or the defender went low, and he went high.
He showed off the physicality on defense and now the agility on offense. It's a QB keeper on the read option.
Fake.
And
Nice
Ehrlich
tackle.
runs right into a tackle.
Open field tackle.
Gambino again, right?
It was Austin Gambino at the Highland 39, so a gain of 2. Ehrlich made the right read, but Highland's defense swarmed to the ball.
Yeah, Gambino did a great job breaking down. He held containment on this end and did his job. That was really nice by the young man.
So 2nd and 8 for the Hobart offense. They're in Highland territory looking to respond to the Highland touchdown earlier in the quarter. Gibson in motion. They flip it out to him in the
good
flat,
tackle.
And he just take it down straight away. This time it's Avion Wilson.
I'll tell you, Highland's swarming to the football right now, aren't they?
But, I'm sure Coach K had a few words, but This seems like a Bogner conversation. Coach Bogner was probably in there giving it to him.
Yeah. A Bogner pep talk.
You ain't lying.
Get somebody's attention.
He's
pitch
meant a
it
few
to
words.
Gibson on third down.
Oh.
He's past the 35, and he's got room to run. Gibson down the sidelines. Jason Lawrence pushes him out just shy of the 20, and Hobart converts a 3rd and 13.
That was a nice little burst as he turned the corner, wasn't it?
That was the best run of the game for him now.
I thought they had him under, turning the corner up. Man, he just shot right around him.
Trey Gibson. How about that? He's converted twice on 4th down, and now he turns on the Jets on 3rd and long. He gets a ball fake to him.
Good pass.
Up the sideline.
That's it right there. That was beautiful.
Hobart.
It doesn't get any better than that, folks. That was a drop. That was a touch. That was a footwork. That was the fake. Everything was sold perfectly on that one.
Noah Ehrlich to Connor Stafford right in stride, and Hobart can get their lead back up to 20.
What a play. Osika pretty pumped about it on that replay. My Lord. If you're looking at that play fake, you're going to see, oh, Trey's got the ball. No, Trey doesn't have the ball. Ehrlich's got the ball, and he's dumping it beautifully into the corner.
Pimentel on for the extra point. And Hobart's lead is back up to 20. 27-7, 1:58 in the 3rd quarter left to play. Hobart needed a response after Highland got on the board, and boy, they did just that.
Took them 2 4th down conversions to get it. Highland's they're not bowing down right now. They're still got a lot of fight in them.
A much grittier drive than we're used to seeing out of Hobart tonight. They converted on short fields to score 2 touchdowns in the first half, and for the first time tonight, they drive down the length of the field for 6.
Highland made them earn it, though. They were hitting. They're flying around. They're, like you said, they're not quitting. I like that. But again, that's the Hobart offense, and when he runs play action, and the defense sucks up, that's the option he has, and he's got, again, we've talked about it. They have the weapons to make things happen down the field.
And this is a game of attrition.
That last play might have just made our lives that much easier. Noah Ehrlich's got 3 touchdowns tonight. He might be the front runner for the Krell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. And that dime is a prime candidate for the Proud Union home play of the game.
I agree. So far, the night is young.
A lot of time left. Got another 17 minutes left in the clock. Biggest play so far. We're seeing a couple good ones. Trey's long run right there. And a couple long passes that were really nice.
Hobart kicks it long. Solomon fields it on his own 15. He's got room to work.
Oh, there's a lot of room.
The near sideline. 50 out of bounds at midfield.
Nice
Pimentel.
Ryan Pimentel, the kicker, had to
He's
make
going to get
the
credit
stop.
for a tackle on that one.
Kickers love that.
He got tackled as the kicker on that one, but he's going to get credit for that.
You know that.
When you see it on the stat, you're not going to tell him that you.
Nope. He'll brag about that. I got
you
nailed
look at
him.
it in the film room the next day, he might get a little bit of cap from his teammates.
Hey, stats show a tackle.
I made the tackle. No, you didn't. You got tackled. That's cap.
Hey.
It counts all the same.
That's right. It stopped 6.
He's bragging about it over there.
Yeah, he's a kicker, man.
On the far sideline, he's like, you guys didn't even see it, did you? I was all the way over there.
I got action, buddy.
You know it.
Max Smith still in at quarterback for Highland.
Low snap again.
Hang on, and after he picks it up, Gavin Miller wrestles him to the ground.
Miller in the backfield for tackle for loss. Miller, that's his new name.
But Danny, that's what I keep. Get under the center. They've had problems with that exchange all night.
When you see that a lot, you really got to move it underneath there.
It's just one less thing you got to worry about.
It really is.
Oh.
Center is a position that is greatly overlooked in this game.
It's thankless, right? You only know about them when they mess up.
Right.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
it's a loss of 10 on that play. 2nd and 20 from the Highland 40. Brown in shotgun with 2 receivers to his left. And he'll fire the screen out to Solomon, and he trips down at the 42.
To get the little bit longer spikes on the Highland side.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Highland has themselves a 3rd and 17. That last play officially a gain of 3.
He was open. He had a lot of room. Just slid.
Got a little ahead of himself there, right?
He sure did.
Got a little excited.
He had to come back for the ball a little bit.
Turf monster. I was trying to figure out that word.
That's why you need us young bloods.
It's Friday. This is like bedtime for me, man. I'm old.
24 seconds to go. Another snap that goes through Smith's legs. He avoids one snap, rolling to his right. All he can do is throw it away, and I'm not sure that got back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's pretty close. He's standing right on it.
He's out of the pocket.
They're going to give it to him.
You still got to get to the line of scrimmage, though.
I will say that ball reached the line of scrimmage, so Smith was able to avoid an even bigger loss and a penalty, but it's still 4th and 17 for Highland. No choice but to punt.
I think their line judge was right on that. That was real close, but he was right on that right away.
Highland's coaching staff is pointing towards the spot. They thought it was grounding. Play clock winding down. Highland still isn't set. Can they get this punt off before the delay of game?
No, I don't think so.
They cannot. So the delay of game will set
Did they reset
Highland
the
back
clock?
another 5 yards.
I don't think they reset the play clock from the beginning.
We'll see what the referee has to say.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't reset that.
So no delay of game because the referees did not set the clock. So Highland avoids the 5-yard penalty.
Oh, to be that referee on the sideline right now again.
There we go.
Coach Osika's giving him an earful. So it is still 4th and 17. Ball remains on the Highland 42. Daniel Leffel ready to punt this one away. And I believe that's Aiden Leonard back deep. Leffel gets it off. Excuse me, it's Willie Shearer, and he lets that one go out of bounds at the Hobart 31.
Not start.
Clock didn't move.
Clock didn't move. You're right.
A little home field advantage there.
Hey.
Don Howell Field.
Or maybe a home field disadvantage because you want the clock to run when you're up 20.
Hey, maybe that's what Osika was talking about on the sideline.
Maybe that's what it was. Hey.
You better make it up to us somehow, and that's the way they do it.
Got a little Lincoln's carryouts for something for you. If you
get a bunny girl and a steel worker.
There you go.
So Hobart has time for maybe 1 or 2 more plays before we head to the fourth quarter. It's 27-7 Brickies over the Trojans. Just over 16 seconds left to play as Noah Ehrlich leads the offense back out onto the field.
Hold on, they're going to change it right now.
Hold on just a second. I think the referees are going to wind the clock down a bit more. The big question is, though, how much time went off the clock during
about 4
the punt?
seconds.
So they
4.2.
will move it 4.2 seconds down, 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ehrlich in shotgun all by himself. He fires quickly
Short
over the middle. He
screen.
has Gibson at the 34, and he immediately gets wrapped up, and that'll run the clock down to finish off the third quarter.
It's got to be pretty cool for Bradley and Trey's dad and mom, being able to watch Trey on offense tear it up and then watch the younger brother Bradley kill it on defense. You get both facets of the ball. It's pretty nice.
Well, Dad's pretty excited. Mom's probably nervous somewhere, biting her fingernails. Don't want her boys to get hurt. But
they're a great family. They on senior night they had my son, and boy, they really hooked it up. They're really nice people. Great, great people. I remember the dad from wrestling a long time ago trying to sucker his oldest son back into it, but I doubt he's coming back.
Put your Forge up here at the Brickyard. It's 27-7 Hobart over Highland in this penultimate game in both teams' Northwest Crossroads Conference season. And by the way things are looking, Hobart looks ready to ice this one out.
12 minutes left.
Can you spell penultimate, by the way, real quick?
I think I can. That was a middle school
I don't want to play
spelling
Scrabble
chip.
with you, man.
It's a long word, but it's
My
not that hard.
gosh.
Penultimate.
It is 9 o'clock on a Friday night. You're throwing out penultimate. Come on.
Someone's got to keep the fans interested.
That word went right over my head when I heard it.
I heard it.
I was like, well, all right. I don't know what that is.
No words with friends with you.
I'm not that good at Wordle, though, I swear.
Yeah. What was the word again? Oh, penultimate. Yeah, I forgot about that.
The teams switch sides of the field, 2nd and 7 on the
35.
Up
and
the Trey
middle.
Gibson has a hole up the middle. It takes 2 Highland defenders to bring him down at the Hobart 49. A huge gain, 14 yards on the carry, and Hobart moves the chains.
Out about the 50-yard line. They're looking to push this more. You're 27-7 with 11:51 left in the game. Hobart hasn't taken their foot off the gas pedal once.
Well, that was my next question for you, Danny. If Hobart is fortunate enough to go ahead and get down the field and score, do you start thinking about sitting some guys?
Coach Osico won't sit them until the end. He makes sure the boys, there's no
Handoff
chance.
Goes to Gibson up the middle, and he rumbles ahead for about 7.
You're a starter. You're going to get your playing time here at Hobart. You're going to play 4 quarters.
Especially here under the lights at senior night, your final regular season game.
We got a flag.
Here are some extracurricular activity. There's a flag.
A little laundry.
Like number 7, Javi Castillo was in on that tackle. Number 40, Nick Johnson, also for Highland.
Well, this one's going against Hobart.
I wonder what
Both
was.
ways.
Jimmy, it's
Okay, a little
offsetting.
jawing.
A little chit-chat.
All right.
So offsetting penalties, we will replay this down. So back to 1st and 10.
I think it was after the play. I think we're just going to keep it at
because it's
second.
after the play,
It's a dead ball.
they nullify. That's my mistake.
Replay.
When you're a coach, you don't mind those. Like, hey, what was said?
Hey.
So they run the clock. The ball remains right where it is. Gibson gets his 7-yard carry. It's 2nd and 3 from the Highland 44. Ehrlich hands it right back to him.
Oh, great.
A nice
back.
cut gets him the 1st and a little more. Spins past the 30. He is down to the Highland 28.
You're going to see a lot of that. Like I was saying, this is an attrition game now.
Yep.
Highland once again on the carry up the middle. He cuts inside the 10, and he's down near the marker. The referees rule him just short at the Highland 8.
It was almost like a
little
horse
bit of
collar.
John after the play.
It was almost like a sideways horse collar. Did you see that? His hands were up pretty high.
He slid him backwards with it, too. No pushing and shoving afterwards, too.
He wouldn't let go. It was like his hand was stuck.
Yeah.
So it goes as a gain of 9. No penalty on the play, so
Overload.
2nd and 1 on the 8. High snap, handoff goes to
Backside
Jalen Williams.
Jalen.
Bounces off a couple tackles, and he's got enough for the first.
Helmet's off and everything. That's face mask.
That was a
Helmet came right off.
Nice flag toss by the official right there.
Perhaps he was a high school quarterback.
Yeah, he's a softball player, isn't he? I mean, he's a big time slow pitch softball guy, but that was great accuracy and
threw it right into the pile.
Didn't he? That was great, man. Play of the game.
Right in the back
play of the game opportunity. Man, he did that with some fury. That really got him going.
That warmed him up. He was a little chilly on the side.
Yeah, he did.
So the face mask on Highland repositions this football on the 3-yard line. And seeing as how Trey Gibson has run on this drive, why not go back to your bell cow?
I think you feed him, right?
Perfect time for Ehrlich to keep it.
Well, that's a good point right there. We'll see. Gibson lines up behind Ehrlich and Pistol. They
Nope.
toss it
Pitch
to
sweep.
Gibson. He jumps over a Highland defender to the 2, pushes forward
He's
towards
in.
the goal line.
With
and
the
he's
cutback in. Good pancake block by number 68. Great pancake block.
68.
Trey Gibson is on the board for the
Copenhagen.
first time tonight.
Matthew
and Hobart
Copenhagen.
has their biggest lead of the game at 26. It's 33-7.
Beautiful. He had him pancaked into the backfield.
Gibson deserved that touchdown, right?
He did.
He did
Went
a great.
right,
what a
went
great
left,
drive.
And he cut back into the traffic and still made it through. That's, you know, when you got a guy like Trey, you give him 2 inches, he can see 5 feet.
And you talk about the zone
extra
blocking
point
they've been
is
doing,
good.
giving them gaps.
And Hobart's lead is up to 27 at 34-7. 9:31 left to play in this one. And for all intents and purposes, I think Hobart has it.
Looking that way right now, 34-7. We get Highland now. We can say all we want about this score, but the way Highland's defense is played, it's only this last couple drives that they've actually had a hard time. Other than that, Highland's been on it, and Hobart's just capitalized on mistakes.
And again, we talked about it. These guys could play each other in 2 weeks.
They really could.
They really could. The draw's coming out a couple days, and at this point, Coach Koulianos is gonna, hey, let's fight. We got to fight to the final buzzer.
Right.
Compete.
Find
Work on
a
something.
chink in the armor.
Game reps. You can't have them in practice. You can say practice reps count and help, but game reps you can't teach it. You can't.
That's
You
right.
got to use them all.
There's just an extra level of intensity on Friday nights. There's no way to replicate that.
No, you can. We've tried a lot of different things, and you can't do it.
You can't even do it in a scrimmage.
No. Trying to hit your buddies, right? You can't bring the same fire.
You could bring another team in on a scrimmage, and it's just not the same.
Right.
If the score doesn't matter, then you just can't call it the same thing.
Yeah. Hobart music guy's on point again. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
He's the real MVP.
Little jungle boogie.
Pimentel kicks it away. Salmon flips it, and he has to pick it up inside
That's
his own
dead,
end zone
right?
and run it back.
That's
They
dead.
will rule this ball dead. It is a touchback, and Highland catches a break.
He's had 3 times now he's muffed that kick. He's had a hard time with that. You can't catch that ball over your head.
It's the wind. It plays a factor. I mean, we talked
Highland
about
has
it.
had all sorts of issues on special teams tonight, and they've reared their ugly heads all night long.
Again, that's that third phase. We've talked about it. That will come into play in the postseason. For some team here in the region, they will win or lose a game because of a kick return or a fumble or a missed field goal, mixed extra point even. That will happen.
Huge facet of the game.
Max Smith remains in the game at quarterback for Highland.
Hobart with 8 in the box.
A couple running backs run into each other on the handoff, but Jason Lawrence is able to bounce it outside, and he cuts back upfield for a gain of 5.
Yeah, again, 2nd and 5 for Highland. That's nice.
A 5-yard carry with 8 in the box. That's pretty good.
Yep. They'll take that as long as they can continue to progress here and not go the wrong direction or do something to self-inflicted.
And we got to watch those snaps.
Yeah.
Under
My
9
guess is
minutes
this one's going to
play
Hubbard.
in this one. Hobart leads Highland 34-7 on Senior Day at the Brickyard. 2 running backs one on either side of Smith. He drops back, rolls to his right, pressure coming, and all he can do is throw this one away.
He tried to scream to Hubbard on the side over there, but he didn't have enough room. Ran out of real estate.
Good decision by the young man. Didn't try to force anything. And they just called
got another flag.
That was that didn't make it to the line of scrimmage. Is
They
that
might
grounding?
call this grounding.
That might be.
You're absolutely right. That ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And grounding
It
is
sure
the call.
is.
Yeah, you gotta throw that one to the cheerleaders over there. Just get rid of it and throw it.
Just
throw
gotta
it up
whip
the
it.
field. Yeah,
Aim
get
for
it
the
up the
coach.
field.
Always aim for the opposing coach.
Throw it to mom in the stands up there. Do something. You gotta show it off.
The penalty
Show off the
places
gun.
the ball all the way back at the at the Highland 5, and not to mention a loss of down. So it's 3rd and 25 from the Highland 5.
Not many plays in the playbook, Danny, for 3rd and 25.
I'm going with a quarterback sneak.
A little sneak or a little get rid of it. It's a little dive.
Punt on 3rd.
I like that.
There's a whole sport predicated on that. That's how popular it is. Smith hands off for Luviano to the left side. He's got room to run. Up past the 15. Almost lost it at the 20, but he's able to hang on. He goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line, and with so little time left in the game,
Coach K's going to punt it.
Highland still decides to punt.
Yeah, you're too deep.
You're too deep.
Too deep right there.
2 yards away from the red zone. A couple of the Highland players were looking like, wait, why? You know why. Get off the field.
And again, we have to punt into the wind here. Let's see what kind of field position they get. The returner standing on the 50.
Hobart didn't send them last time. Let's see if they send them this time.
Set up a block.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, they're going.
Here they come.
Oh, Miller got it.
Away, but it gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. Gibson will let this one roll, and it stops at the Hobart 49. Hobart
lucky
got
on that
right
one
in the punter's face, and Leffel was lucky that it took a Highland bounce.
Looked like Gavin Miller got a piece of that one. It might have hit him in the stomach, or either that or his foot got him in the stomach.
Got a good roll.
Definitely got a good roll.
Got a good roll.
As things stand right now, Hobart is ready to send their first team offense back out onto the field. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion would trigger the running clock.
Hobart plays in the 4th quarter when you're starters. We're going to get your time in. Towards the end, you'll start seeing the subs, but Coach Osika he likes to make sure the machine is well oiled.
Not just that, you win by more points, your ranking goes up.
No.
You don't like it, stop it.
Ugh.
Mike
I'm old
Kirk
again.
had the carry. That's his first action today.
Hubbard
this time
again.
they go to Hubbard and
Gibson is backfield again.
Hobart's front seven has been unstoppable. A huge loss on third down, and Hobart has a lot of ground to cover. Or rather, Highland.
Okay, right here.
Apologies for the technical difficulties. We are back on the airwaves at the Brickyard. When we lost connection, Trey Gibson had just scored his second touchdown of the quarter. Highland was able to get one first down, but their offense stalled, and Leffel is back out to punt. Hobart nearly got it. No one back deep to return for Hobart, and the ball rolls inside the 40 to around the 39.
You can afford to do that, and again, you're trying things out, right? These situations you've been talking about, Coach, and this is another good look. And you're punting into the wind, so the ball's not going anywhere. You know that.
Right.
And you have a 34-point lead, so you can tinker with some things. But
4:25 to go in the game, and I think it's about that time where we start handing out some post-game awards. And I'm going to hold off on the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game for the moment because there's still some time for a couple of guys to make their cases. But let's start off with the Boilermakers Union 39. I apologize. Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game.
There's a couple guys out there, and you're going to look at, the offensive side with Trey Gibson, and you're going to look at Ehrlich. Ehrlich making a lot of really good plays, as well as you're looking at the defense. You got Gavin Miller and Bradley Gibson.
Aiden Leonard now in at quarterback. He takes it on the keeper for a gain of 2.
Got 2 on each side of the ball that you could any one of them would be good.
I think our blue collar, my opinion would be Trey Gibson because he is playing both sides of the ball. He's done a great job.
Trey only plays the offense.
He only plays offense. I'm confusing the brothers.
Bradley
how
plays
about this?
defense.
Okay.
We give it to the Gibson brothers because they both had a huge game.
Holy moly.
I like that. That.
Might be a first.
Handoff up the middle, and Trent Brown is near midfield.
Blue collar family of the game, I guess, right?
Gosh.
So how about that?
Trey and Bradley Gibson.
Our Boilermaker Local 374 Blue Collar Family. Yep. Bradley Gibson, I apologize. It's 3rd and 2 ball at the Hobart 48. Leonard hands off Brown. He's got a first down. Drags a couple of Highland defenders with him down to the 46.
Is that Scherer in there? No, 24.
Of course, the Blue Collar Player of the Game award is brought to
Brown.
you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
Is this so Leonard's behind under center, right? Is that what we have?
Leonard, the new quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Another handoff for Trent Brown, and he runs into a crowd behind the line of scrimmage.
How would you like to be the backup quarterback behind Ehrlich?
It's a good job.
I mean,
you're holding
safe.
the clipboard.
You're safe.
Not quite.
You're like the
Leonard
backup
is
behind
a
Tom
starting
Brady. I mean, it's like you're not going in.
It would only stink if you're in the same grade.
Well,
he's a sophomore.
First of all, they
This kid's a sophomore.
They are the same grade,
Yes.
but Ehrlich actually throws to Leonard a lot. He's a starting wide receiver.
Well, yeah, okay.
Handoff Brown up the middle. This time positive yardage. Runs through an arm tackle past the 40, and he's down at the 40.
Leonard's going to find a way to get his hands on the ball is what you're saying.
Sure. And that's you want your best 11 dudes on the field. You find a spot
Here's
for
the
them, right?
thing. Leonard is an athlete. You just got to find a space on the field for him to get the football, and Ehrlich is a guy that can get it to him.
I don't think Ehrlich would have a problem getting the ball to anyone on the field. If you put a couple garbage bags out there in the end zone, he might be able to hit the garbage bag, not alone the can.
3rd and 4 ball on the Highland 40. Another handoff. It's Leonard on
Leonard
the keeper.
He's got the outside. He's gone.
20.
There's a flag.
10, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 10. There's a flag down at the 40-yard line. This might be coming back.
Behind the line of scrimmage, those are usually bad for the offense.
Usually a holding on the receiver out there. Coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back.
It is a holding. So the big gainer is negated, but still a positive sign that Leonard was able to break off a big run. If your second-string quarterback can do that, granted a playmaker because he is a starting wide receiver, you're in good hands if Ehrlich goes down.
And it also shows you how good that line is.
Yeah.
Right? It's not – I mean, Ehrlich's good, and Leonard's doing a great job, but the line's doing their job and makes the quarterback look real smart.
That was one of those deep breath runs when you get to the end of it and you realize there's a flag.
Third and 14, ball at midfield for Hobart. 2:02 on the clock as the referee winds it. But let's get back on track here with the post-game awards. How about the Proud Union home play of the game?
I got the play of the game. That was the Ehrlich to Stafford touchdown down here. Danny, how about that one?
That was so pretty. The toss in the corner.
Yeah, 150. Ooh, gosh. 148 in the third.
Oh, Barry Sanders.
We might have a new
Leonard's going to get that back.
Video game.
Nearly a first down. Breaking out the joystick there. Leonard was certainly going to be stopped in the backfield, but he just planted his right foot in the turf.
He just ran
and
about.
he has Hobart a yard away from a first down.
For 8-yard game.
That was
as
awesome.
soon as we brought up the Proud Union home play of the game, we had a late entry.
Aiden said, hold on.
Let's call a timeout, Coach. I'm gassed right now.
He's like, I've been running routes all game,
Let's
man.
take a delay of game.
I'm going to take a knee here.
Yeah.
Under
Fourth
a
and
minute
2.
to go. 4th and 2
I
for
am not
Hobart.
keeping this ball.
The referees didn't reset the play clock. Now it's ready to go. Now the game clock is stuck at 53 seconds, but while it is, we'd like to remind you that the Proud Union home play of the game is presented by IKORCC, the Indiana-Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future. The clock winds after the play clock and game clock got synced.
7 seconds left on the play clock.
Leonard hands off the middle for Brown, and he gets
You gotta move the
enough
pile.
on the push.
That's it. That'll be the end of the game.
That's the
Has
emphasis,
put this game
right?
on ice.
That's right.
There's your exclamation point.
He didn't have enough on the initial burst, but the second wave got him across, and the referees moved the chains. All Hobart needs to do right now is kneel it down, and they've got win number 5 in the bag.
Those
But
moments when you're a running back, you're stuck in those piles.
before the clock hits 0, they take the offense off the field. They'll just run this game clock down to 0. But one last order of business tonight, the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. A lot of worthy candidates, but I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What do you think?
I think you got to go, of course, with Noah Ehrlich.
Noah Ehrlich is
What a
my
nice-
pick as well. The kid, he's on fire. He's clicking at the right time. No disrespect to anybody else on the field. He just made everything look really, really pretty tonight.
Yeah, he slows the game down in his brain, right? He's making good reads, good decisions. Again, I'm looking forward to see if Hobart can advance out of that sectional. It's going to be tough. And again, we mentioned it. They got New Prairie. There's a lot of teams that can do it, and you got to stay healthy. And again, they're hoping for some help for with an Andrean loss. They can still get a share of the
That's
title,
right.
I believe.
And with Noah, they're going to need some more Saturday-like plays on Friday night again next weekend.
Yep.
That'll do it here from the Brickyard. One final time, the final score, Hobart 41, Highland 7. A big thank you to our broadcast crew tonight, our game producer on site, Nate Raymond, our videographer, Bob Guerrero from New Concept Video, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our coordinating producer, Nathan Laird. A special thanks to Hobart Athletic Director Mike Black, both head coaches, Pete Koulianos for Highland and Craig Osika from Hobart, and of course, to you, the fans, watching at home on Facebook.com/RegionSports and on RegionSports.com. For my team tonight, Doug Nelson and Danny Bell, my name is Ryan Zimmerman. This has been a production of Game Night on the Region Sports Network. This broadcast is a production of the Region Sports Network. Any other use, duplication, reproduction, or retransmission of the accounts and descriptions of this contest without the expressed written consent of Region Sports Network is prohibited. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.